Way, Jake.
Ooh, she's talking to me. Recording.
Hey guys, thank you for joining me on An Eye for Horror. The topic, top 13 summer related theme, summer mood movies. Uh, I guess I should let you guys go first. Who who wants to? Kathy, how about you?
Me? All right, y'all. I'm going to take you on back to 1981. Okay. The Burning. I'm sure y'all all remember The Burning. Probably not.
Oh, yeah.
Lou David, Jason Alexander, Holly Hunter. That teenager's prank go wrong as the camp's caretaker is set on fire. And he returns to seek vengeance the next year. And it is creepy. It is frightening, more suspenseful, I think, than anything. But it's fun. It's fun. It's one of those, it's so bad, it's good. Not too, yeah. Okay. That's my first one.
Was that written by Stephen King?
I have no idea.
For some reason, I'm thinking I could be so wrong.
I don't think Stephen King wrote the Burning. Tom Savini did the makeup, but I don't think Stephen King wrote it. I don't.
Well, let me finish. I'm sorry, I wasn't done. A group of teens find themselves using all. Okay, so here's what happened was he comes to seek revenge on the next summer on a whole new mess of teenagers. They don't even know what's going on, but they find out. All right.
Just a question real fast. Is that are we starting at like 13 and going up, or is that your number one?
That's my well, now listen. That's my number one because I don't really know that much, Chris, about these horror movies. I'm learning every day. Jake and Jay teach me a lot, but it's just the first one I ran across.
Okay. I just wondered. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going 13-1.
Yeah, that's
okay.
I don't even have a level. I'm just
sorry, I fell down.
I do it every time. All right, who's next, Jake?
Go ahead, ringleader. Ringleader. I wish I could talk. Damn.
Yes. Go ahead.
Me. I guess I'm gonna go 13 as well. Man, it's kind of hard to narrow down with the whole the summer aspect of it, but I'm gonna do a kind of a double movie because I really can't decide between the two. But Mandy and Beyond the Black Rainbow, which is Panos Cosmatos movie. I really dig Panos Cosmatos, how he does his visuals and stuff like that. It's just and they're both of those movies are just a wild ride. Plus, you throw Nick Cage in there with his acting, dude, and it's just a good time. I dig that movie.
You know, in recent years, probably the two best performances I've seen from Nick Cage has been from Mandy and Pig.
Yeah.
That he proves that he can still step up and the man can act, you know, because he puts out so many, you know, really, you know, sort of B grade stuff and you know, but he can bring it. He can still bring it.
The bees. The
bees.
Yeah. He's so over the top, man.
Rumor has it out there in Hollywood, he has to do all these B movies to afford his coke habit.
Yeah, there's that too. It's one expensive nose, buddy.
Yep. Hey, gotta do what you gotta do, right?
But good choice, Mandy. Like I say, visually, that movie is just a trip and a half.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I love his use of like kind of the pinkish with the purple colors. He just sets a crazy mood with that.
Okay. I know. Since you guys are really into it there, and it's not my place to say, but Jay, what do you got going on there?
Well, uh, I'm in Texas. I'm not only in Texas, I'm in rural Texas. I'm out in the country, and we're in a typical Texas summer, which right now the heat index is 110 degrees during the day. In rural Texas, growing up in the 70s, I'm 58, so I grew up in the 70s and 80s.
Uh,
And in rural Texas,
I think I know you're
man,
going.
it gets hot as
Yep.
hell. And up the road from my house here, there's an old dirt road that come up that feeds out onto a cemetery, Honest Ridge Road, Honest Ridge Cemetery.
Yeah.
And that would be a place. That'd be a place as a kid. Me and my friends would go, and I had a little called a mini bike. We called it a mini bike, but it was a little motorcycle, a Honda Z50, little motorcycle, 3 speeds. And I would drive, and my friend would get on the back, and we'd go to Honest Ridge Cemetery and look at the old graves and stuff. And it'd be old, some of them be knocked over and all that. So when I finally saw this movie, it was a revival, I think, in 1985. I had never seen it before. And went to Corsicana, Texas, and saw this movie. And I swear, half this movie looked like a documentary to me. It's like I've met these people. I have seen this location. And I always think of summer when I see this movie and think of this hot and decay, and you can feel the heat when you watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You can feel the heat radiating from the screen when you see that old, cemetery with the corpses, propped up on the tombstones, and everybody in the movie, the cook, the hitchhiker, Edwin Neal, Leatherface. I haven't met a Leatherface, but I've met a hitchhiker. Man, I think I'm related to a few hitchhikers, like Edwin Neal in that movie. But yeah, and just watching that movie unfold is like shit. It felt like a documentary. It felt very real to me. And yeah, when I think of summer, when I think of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I think of Texas summers. And, yeah. So.
Yeah, unfortunately, you will not get a chance to meet Gunnar Hansen since he sadly passed away. So
I did meet him. I've met him. I've met Edwin Neal.
that's all you needed to meet.
Yeah. Yeah. But, yeah, that's my first choice.
There, I'll get to that eventually. So,
Scott?
Jay, my turn.
Yeah,
And
please.
all right, I'm gonna go with my number 13, and it would be Grease. No,
Damn.
Grease
That's
is
the
gonna-
word.
Yep, that is the word. And that'd be the bottom of all of mine. So, I'm one of the few people in this world despises that movie. Just saying it now. Today in 2024, they say there's a lot of people like in certain areas of Philadelphia where they're reminded of a film, the original from 1973, The Hills Have Eyes.
Mhm.
And what I mean by that, there's a lot of people that are really mixing their heroin with all sorts of stuff today, like horse tranquilizers, and they look a lot like the movie that kind of freaked me out when I was a kid, and The Hills Have Eyes. Now, the remake wasn't bad, but the original one, it does, like when you were talking about there, Jay, with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it kind of had that not necessarily documentary style, but it had that guerrilla vibe look. And I think that's what attracted me to a lot, which I think is missing. A24 gets it, the film industry, but that, yeah, out of the 13, I'm just going to say that the original Hills Have Eyes. It was grungy and nasty and freaked the hell out of me. And I every time I even think of that movie, I lose my appetite. So that's my 13. I should think of that movie all the time. It'll help me lose weight.
Absolutely.
Good choice. Okay. Um, Kathy, you and I must be like-minded. My number one is the 1981 Tony Malum classic, The Burning, written by Tony Malum and someone else, none other than Mr. Harvey Weinstein.
Ah,
Oh no,
Oh,
I'm gonna get
jeez.
demonetized. Wait, I'm not monetized anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, he wrote The Burning, not Stephen King, but that would be pretty cool.
Okay. I don't know why I was thinking he wrote that.
But I do want to add that look for a young Jason Alexander pre Seinfeld, and
Yeah.
also Holly Hunter and Fisher Stevens, who would be in Short Circuit. Johnny Fife is alive and all that, you know. But yeah,
Oh
that's
God.
my number one. Number five is alive. Okay,
ah.
and we're gonna give you up. Okay. Anyways, yeah. Well, that was a shout out to you, Chris. I know that's your favorite song, bro.
Listen. You're you're on thin ice, buddy.
Okay.
Oh God. We got to be careful with his inside jokes, Jake.
Oh yeah. My bad.
Oh, Lord.
Oh man. Uh well, you are the host, you are the director, so I guess you do have to have a little bit of a point and giggle at us. So
I can take it, you know. So
yeah.
just be nice.
Show him your tiger, Jake. Show him your tiger.
Yeah.
Kathy, yeah, it's your turn.
Well, hello. Okay, y'all. I mean, this is some obscure stuff. I mean, everybody can talk about, the well-known ones, but what are we going to talk about? 2006, Turistas. Y'all might not ever heard of that.
No.
Yeah, it is considered a horror thriller. It's survivalist type movie. It stars Josh Dushel. I think he's sexy. Melissa George and Olivia Wilde. And it's Turistas. Travelers are enjoying a dream vacation along Brazilian coast. They go to a party one night though, and they're drugged at the party. And they wake up and they have nothing. They have no passports, they have no money, they have no possessions. The only thing they have is the clothes on their back says they ain't naked. Other than that, they don't have nothing, Jake. And so the townspeople, the Brazilians in that little village don't want them there, So this fella says, well, come on with me. And he takes them up in the mountain to this house. It's a beautiful house. And they go in and they realize that things go from bad to worse. And there's involving some murder, mayhem, dismembering, but it's pretty good. Turistas.
So
Anyway,
it sounds like they obviously build the story to with the characters before they get into the deep, dark stuff.
yeah, well, the deal of it is, I like Josh, however you say his last name, Dushal, but I like Olivia Wilde a lot too. I mean, I really do. And it's directed by John Stockard.
I just say it's John Stamos for a second.
No, it's not. I don't think that he's that good either. But anyway, it's pretty good. Will they escape? Will they won't escape? Who dies? Who don't die? How they? Yeah. So there's a little bit of a horror element to it. I mean, if you're gonna chop somebody in half, that kind of scares me.
Oh hell yeah! I mean, Silence of the Lambs, I don't think was ever considered to be a horror, but damn, it was freaky and scary. Had to make
Yeah.
you think.
I mean, it's not 13 Ghosts, but I'll take it. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Okay. Okay, that's mine. My next one, Turistas.
Huh.
Uh,
I don't know that one. Jake, want me to go next?
yeah, Chris.
Alrighty, sir. Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep because when I think of a horror like summer movie, I think of like, just a good time, almost borderline popcorn movie, but in horror fashion. So you're gonna see a kind of a theme with my list here, but number 12 for me, I'm gonna say Disturbia, Shia LaBeouf.
Oh yeah.
It
God, it's
started out where it felt like it wasn't gonna go in the direction it went. And I like movies that kind of throw you off. Like the first time I saw it, I was like, okay, I know where we're going down. And then it just took a complete like kind of left turn for me. And I was rather entertained by that movie.
It's been a
Disturbia.
while.
Yeah.
That is a good one. It's been a while, but it is good.
Great choice, man.
Mm.
Love that movie.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Scott. Is Scott next, Jake?
Jay.
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 Well, I'm going to kind of cheat here. I'm going to give two, but one just real quick. Because at one of the Texas Frightmare weekends when I was promoting my movie Dawn way back in the day, I got to meet Clint Howard. I got his autograph, got a picture with him. And you can't have a summer without ice cream. So Ice Cream Man. So that's just a quick. That's just a quick. That isn't really an official choice, but yeah. But anyway, you got to have ice cream, and you got to have Ice Cream Man. So
I wonder how many credits he has. He's
well,
been
he was in pretty much every Ron Howard movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, to give credit or credit's due, it's almost like, man, he's got one hell of a portfolio there. There's no doubt about it.
Gentle being. In fact, I think the autographed picture I got was him with the bear as a kid, in Gentle Beer. And he was that little bitty kid that was an Andy Griffith show. He didn't speak, but he would go up and what was it, had an ice cream cone or something? He was he would walk in, he wouldn't say anything, but it was like, oh, hey, but it was Clint Howard.
God, I remember him being on a television series, Saturday morning television series. Oh God,
there's a Night Gallery episode where he's like predicting the weather or something. He's like, it's got psychic powers or something. I like that episode. But yeah, he did a ton of stuff. But yeah, that's kind of just a real quick one. Like you got to have ice cream. So I leave out Ice Cream Man. But anyway, my next choice, and like I say, mine aren't really numbered like 13 or 12 or anything. They're just random. But
a baker's dozen.
I think it was the summer of 1982. And once again, these brutal summers we have in Texas. But that year we had a drought. I live out here at Lake Mejia. Well, I don't live on lakefront property, but just down the road is the lake where I grew up. My dad used to run a marina down there, and I grew up right by the lake. And this year, I think it was 1982, and it was just a total drought. And the lake just pretty much dried up. You could literally walk across the lake. That's how bad it was. Brutal summer. And my friend and I went to the local video store, W&W Family Rental, to rent some stuff to watch for the weekend. Usually horror films. And rented this. I didn't watch it, but my friend watched it while I was asleep that night. And the next day says, before we take this back, you had to return them, in 2 days or whatever, next day, but you got to see this. And I watched it. And it's one of the movies that after I watched it, I wanted to make a movie. It just, what was done with very, very, just almost no budget, but the creativity involved in it. And I call it a summer movie because when during the summertime, I'm going to watch this at least once a year, and I'm usually going to watch it during the summer.
What basket case?
That's the case. And what Frank Henenlotter did with just total creativity and originality and very, very low budget. It's to me, it's the ultimate drive-in movie. Basket. Yeah. It's the ultimate example of no budget, but just a ton of creativity and imagination. And Basket Case, this to me rose at the top of just what I rented it over and over and over again. And yeah, that's one of my favorite, I guess you'd say, horror movies. Period, is a Basket Case. And but yeah, it makes me think of summer when I think about Scooter. So.
That's one thing I miss about the 80s is everything had that slow budgets. I mean, shit, everything at MTV, but horror films, you still loved it.
Yeah.
Today they try to outdo it with CGI. I'm like, we don't want that shit.
And,
We
and,
want
and
the
I didn't even back
creativity.
then. I didn't even think about budget. I just thought I was just being entertained, and you know,
Creativity could go a long way, whether
exactly.
it costs 50 cents or $50. So, see, my number 12 would be Grease. No,
No, it's still the word.
Hunt for Red October. No, when I first watched this film, I think it was on Netflix, and I just loved how fun it was. Even though it was gory as hell, it was a comedy and a horror, and it just made you think of. It had such appreciation of some of the horrors that was before them that you could tell they respected, like say Evil Deads and stuff like that. But Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Mm.
And I think it's so underrated, but yet it's so fun.
Oh,
and
I love that movie.
Yeah, it's a fun summer. It's just like it's gory, but it's fun. They make the gory stuff fun in this film.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but what I love about Tucker and Dale is it begins on what you think is going to be a typical sort of Chainsaw Massacre kind of horror film, slasher film, and then it takes a turn, a comedic turn that I didn't see coming when I first saw it, and I would just fell in love instantly.
Yeah.
Just like, it's got a twist to it that comes early in the film, and that just takes you on this wild ride. Like I say, really gory, but like you say, fun gory.
It is. It's you don't get that too much. I mean,
it's gore that'll make you laugh.
It's like Terrorizer, which is
and then kind of like the kind of gore that it has kind of reminds me of what is it? Dead Alive. That kind of, some ways, kind of that style of gore that's more comedic, even though it's really excessive.
It's like my son. I mean, he'll be in his late 20s. We'll just leave it at that. So I guess he is in his late 20s now. But 15 years ago, he absolutely fell in love with Evil Dead 2 because to him, it was the puppeteering in it. And my son is autistic, and he's always had an infatuation with puppeteers. So I get it. He didn't give a shit about the blood and gore because let's face it, Evil Dead, they went over the top with it where the blood was all different sorts of colors. My son didn't even see that. He just seen the goofy acting and the silliness involved in with it. And I think that's really what got him started in horror. I always thought it was the Halloween, but no, I think it was Evil Dead 2. So
that's a good one.
The most fun I ever had in a theater watching a movie was watching Evil Dead 2. I saw it with my friend Barry, and we sat on the front row and had seen Evil Dead, on VHS. So we assumed that was sort of the direction Evil Dead 2 was going to go. And when it went on this kind of comedic turn, we were screaming with laughter. Oh shit, with the plates against the head and the hand coming alive and shooting the bird, and we were laughing so loud I thought we was going to get thrown out of the theater. And just one of the best times I've ever had in a theater watching a movie, watching Evil Dead 2.
Since you said, I'm thinking of back when I was a teenager in a van in a drive-in, but that's totally different. Oh, Jake.
A van, you say, Scott?
Oh yeah, a van. Actually, there was also a Plymouth Horizon involved with a little 4-speed, but that was not as fun. And you know what? This is a good time for Jake to start.
In a van down by the river. Thank you very much.
That's right.
Jake.
Okay.
That's what I tell you.
Okay, my number 2 is totally random. Cannibal Camp Out from 1988, and it's directed by Tony Fisher and co-directed by Tony Fisher and John McBride, written by John McBride.
Okay.
It was like though so low budget, that I I watched it a few times and I don't remember too much about it. No name actors and whatnot, and campy, 88 cheesy horror goodness. Yeah.
Hey.
Fun. That's the kind I like. I don't care if I don't recognize anybody in it. If it's fun, it's fun. I'm gonna revisit it again sometime.
No.
So me?
Mhm.
Okay, so here we're gonna go. And y'all all know this one. I know you will. Okay, so we got a House of a Thousand Corpse.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then Rob Zombie said, well, here you go, The Devil's Rejects. I
Oh,
just
yeah.
watched that for the first time, y'all, about 2 weeks ago. And I thought, oh, I'm making my list. Oh, I got to go back here. There is a trilogy, but as far as most people's consensus, Three from Hell could have just been not done.
Yeah.
These are the two that stand up okay. Jake, have you ever seen The Devil's Rejects?
That's his best one, honestly. That's my opinion. I had to say that real quick.
Yes, I
sir.
have, Kathy. It's amazing.
Yeah, and
31 too.
yeah, I think so too. I mean, it's just good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tutti fucking fruity.
Not meant 2005, not meant for faint-hearted. It's dark, brutal, and gory, and I bring gory to me. I love anything gory. Okay,
You finally broke down and watched Terrifier 2. So
yeah, I've seen them all now, nearly all. And I've seen the guy with the head that was all crazy. What was that movie, Jay?
Man, sorry.
Well, he his head does things we don't need to talk about. Remember that movie?
Reanimator.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna say Caitlyn
There you
Jenner.
go.
listen, I don't get grossed out at all. I don't. But that one, I wanted to hunt him across a couple of fields. Come here. But anyway, that's
I
just
don't
like
either. I mean, gore doesn't bother me, and and there's some movies that I enjoy the gore. I like what they're doing with the gore. But the bedroom scene in Terrifier 2 had me kind of turning my head a few times. Okay.
Well, you
Oh,
and Jake tried to tell me. Now listen, well, it was Jake that said, "Wait till you get to that part." I'm gonna pay special attention to that part.
And what I love is,
It's
oh
great.
God, it can't get any worse. And Art says, yeah, it can. And he brings up the bleaching salt. And
Wait till you see 3. We're gonna
Yes.
have a
yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Wait till you see 3.
3 times as bad.
that is the one movie I'm looking forward the most to. That and Maxine.
Yes, I'm looking forward to see
Yes.
Maxine.
Yeah, Terrifier 3 because it takes place during Christmas, and I thought,
Merry
Art,
Christmas.
Art the clown during Christmas time. I can't wait. So.
Turn it into a musical. You watch.
I would love that. I wish it would turn into a musical.
Why the hell not? I mean, it'll be something original, and I applaud that. That's for sure.
Chris?
Back to me already. Damn. Number 11. Well, it's just the feeling that the movie gives me, but I'm sure none of you are gonna be completely surprised by this one. But Wolf Creek.
Well,
Yes.
Wolf Creek, that nails that just summer feel, although it's Australia, of course, but you can feel like Jay was saying earlier, whether you can feel the sweat and you can feel the heat coming off the camera. I mean, that movie nails the summer for me as well. And it was just well done. The head on a stick. Damn.
Ooh.
And that guy's creepy
Yeah.
laugh. Gets
Yes,
me every
that
time.
lovely.
Jake, yeah. Ooh, don't laugh when you chopping. Just don't. Okay, go ahead.
Good stuff.
It's been a while since I've seen that, but yeah, I know it's yeah, it definitely feels like a summer. I mean, see, I don't know why I started thinking, well, their winters are our summers. So, but yeah, it's been, I feel like it's been like 10 years since I've seen that film.
Yeah, it's been a while for me too.
Oh, it's a classic.
Yeah, time to revisit.
Yeah. Well, try to, it's, damn, what was that? Foster's Australian for beer. Something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's it. That's it. That damn blue can. Shit.
Yeah. I haven't seen, you know what? I don't want to go down that aisle. I don't need to go down that beer aisle Sunday, Scott. No, no, no. Because I'm a
Unnecessarily large. You got to hold it like this. Like,
yeah.
fuck, man. It's as big as my head.
I feel like you want to go Foster's. It's what's for dinner.
Yeah.
All right, Jay. What's your favorite beer? I mean, see now I can't think about beer. It's Sunday and I got to get up at 4:00.
I'm going to cheat again and give two, but this one is just real quick. And this is my all-time favorite movie. This is the movie I've seen the most times. It's not the greatest movie ever made, but it's the one it's the one I enjoy watching the most. And every July, I watch this movie. And anyway, so yeah, it's my favorite movie. And of course, you can't get more summer than 4th of July and a shark eating people. But anyway, but my next, I guess, official choice, I don't know if you consider this a horror film, but horrific things do happen.
That sounds lovely.
Particularly for poor Ned Beatty. And
Oh, shit.
Oh.
and
You
if I'm going to watch this movie, it's going to be during the summertime. And yeah, I don't know how you would categorize this, a thriller or whatever, but
Jaunting. Oh, sorry.
Jaunting, yeah.
somebody had a thrill there.
When I first watched this, it was a TV movie. It was shown on television, CBS evening movie or something like that. And I remember as a kid watching this and was watching it with my dad. I don't know if Kathy and my mother were watching too, but I remember specifically watching it with Dad, my father.
Yeah.
And when it gets to the infamous squeal like a pig scene, I didn't quite understand what was going on. And I remember my father going, "Well, son, he's
playing
doing
a game.
He's doing something to that boy that it ain't good, He kind of walked around it, He didn't really tell me, well, he's being butt fucked. He didn't say that, he didn't come right out and say it. But when Dad was through, I knew what was happening. And I was like, oh my God, just that whole concept as a kid that a man would do that to another man, yeah, that's one I'll watch probably once a year. Love the performances. Burt Reynolds' best performance, I think.
You know what? I came in here with the wrong name, and I was just trying to be funny.
And there's been times that I've been sort of compared to the kid that plays the banjo.
Oh yeah, the dueling banjos. Yeah,
dueling banjos. But anyway, yeah. So Deliverance is my next choice. Kind of like
Deliverance, the prequel to Smokey and the Bandit. No. Deliverance. Oh God, it's stamped in time as a classic.
So I've never seen it on the TV, so I gotta see how they.
It's a good
edited
movie.
It's just a really good movie.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, that's if you're going to talk about Deliverance, everyone is going to talk about the squeal like a pig scene.
Yeah.
But just as a movie, it's just really well made, really well done. The guy that directed Exorcist 2, directed it, John Borman. But just a great movie all around. Just the way that it's filmed, the tension that it builds, the performances, everything about it.
Well, it makes sense when you think about it, because Exorcist 2, that's a total butt fuck period.
I mean, that TV version must be like 20 so minutes shorter than
Well, and I remember
You
that they
think-
were able to convey what was going on even in the TV version. But when I
Ugh.
finally saw the uncut version, I think it was on VHS when I finally saw it. But I've always just thought it was just a really good movie, just a very well made movie. And like I say, as far as a performance by Burt Reynolds, I think it's his best performance in Deliverance.
Yeah, God. I as a kid, I loved Burt Reynolds films and all that with with Smoking the Bandit films and uh dear Lord.
What was his
Oh.
movie? A Cop and a Half.
Oh hell yeah, love them.
I can honestly say I didn't graduate that part of my film schooling to see that. So nah, I'm just a 70s Burt Reynolds guy.
Yeah.
Stop or my mom will shoot.
No, I did have to see the one with him and Demi Moore because I always had a major thing for Demi Moore. So where where basically he's a male slut in that film. He gets off on her lint. Then again, when I was
striptease.
yeah, when I was a teenager, I probably would have been excited with Demi Moore's lint. So I can relate. Speaking of lint,
Mm.
when I was a kid, teenager, and I remember watching this first time in the summer. So that's how I'm going to take it off there. And I was so thankful that I had watched this film after I had, of course, had seen the Halloweens, the Friday the 13th, and all that. Student Bodies. Student Bodies to me is a classic. And it's so funny. I've talked to others that are into the horror that never even heard of Student Bodies. And I'm like, that's like a B movie slasher making fun of slasher movies. And it's basically where they're making fun of the slasher films back then. I mean, it just starts off, or if you watch the titles and credits, how they're like, it starts off Halloween, and it just has some corny Halloween stupid music with a dog barking, and then it fades to black, and it comes back Friday the 13th. It's just the same scenes. And the killer, he's always finding the cheesiest stuff, the most idiotic stuff to kill his victims with. They show him with his rubber gloves, like you see where someone typically uses to clean the kitchen with. That's his gloves that he wears. And there's always been the Michael Myers with the breathing. Well, he overdoes it with the and then he's waving his hands over the knives, but no, he picks up a paper clip. That's what he's going to use to kill his victims. Oh, I just I'm sure enough in this podcast has heard enough about Rocky Horror Picture Show. To me, that was my original Rocky Horror Picture Show because there was enough a group of people that I knew that knew this movie from every scene to every line, and so we would mock the lines. And I'm surprised it's not my number one, but I had to put this as number 11 because I feel like there's other ones that have more credit as a summer that was scary. But Student Bodies, hell, I even have a poster of it on my damn door over here. It's a great comedy making fun of all the stupid ass slasher movies that we love back in the
particularly if you're a fan of slasher films, you're going to get all the jokes. You're going to get the humor that they're after. Particularly, if you're a fan of those films to begin with.
Oh, that movie alone is it's really a comedy, but it does a brilliant job with how it does it, and it's definitely a low budget film. And in fact, I'm not going to get into it. This is where my head says you don't need to go into it. Maybe it's some other time because right now it's not worth it. Because I'd rather hear Jake's number 11. Turn it up to 11, Jake.
Okay. This one, summer of '84, 2018, directed by. Actually, I can't. Francois or something. It's some Francois something and Andre White something or other. Written by Matt. I can't. Matt something. It was written by people, but it's a great movie. Summer of '84. You can stream it on Shudder.
We're cheating, Jake, because we've seen. I think
Good
you're
old-
8,
good
you're
old
number
Shudder.
6, and you're number 7 from your list that you're holding.
Oh crap! Oh well.
No cheating, Scott.
I'm gonna erase my list real quick because this is better.
Oh fuck.
Okay, Kat, you've been knocking them out of the park. You're batting 1,000.
Well, I'm finding all those that were hid up under somebody's cabinet, and people say, "Oh,
Oh.
you don't want to watch that." I'm like, yeah, no, let me have it. Let me have it. I'll watch it. And that's where Blood Beach comes in.
Ah,
Remember that
Mm.
1981? What's under the beach? When
I was-
it is safe to go back in the water, but you can't get to it because something under the sand under the beach is swallowing people up.
Huh. I have not seen that.
oh man, you got to see Blood
It
Beach.
sounds awesome.
They're basically, as I remember, they're like giant doodle bugs, and and they drag you under the beach. You know, mainly women.
Sounds familiar, but
But yeah, Blood Beach.
Yeah, came out in 1981, and it's funny.
It's
is
one of those so bad it's good kind of movies. You know?
Yeah, and the sheriff, you hear the sheriff talking. Well, now if they can go in the water again and it's safe, we don't really know what's happening out here on the beach. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Don't walk. You don't have to walk on the beach, but don't walk even on a boardwalk close to the beach. Okay.
No, that's a good one.
Yeah. Okay, that's it for me for this one.
Okay. It's me, right? I'm trying to remember the order we're going in. Oh, number
Yeah, you're right.
10. Number 10. I tend to lean towards the remake for this, but Last House on the Left just
Oh,
gives
yeah.
it very something about that movie, seeing it in the theaters. I mean, especially the way the dad at the end just took revenge and started doing all of his manipulative stuff with the killer there. It was just
I got to add in the original how they did this. This talks about the old school trailers. In the old school from the original one, they kept on repeating, "It's only a movie.
Only movie.
A movie. It's only a movie."
It's okay.
Yeah. Wes Craven and of course Sean Cunningham's first film, or well, not their first film, but their first collaboration into the horror. You know. Sorry, I took away Chris's thunder there.
no, you're fine.
It's
I'm used to it.
I'm still here.
I told you. I told you.
Okay, Chris, I got somebody like that I do podcasts with too. His name's Jay. So somebody teased him and said, "You always interrupt your sister when she's trying to make a point." I talk too much. That's why, I'm sure. Jay goes, "No, it's because you make me think of something and I gotta say it right then." And I'm
If I don't, I'll forget it. You know, that's why I am. But you know, I have a spastic.
No,
It's like, you know,
I
but
think it's good we got them to bounce off of. Come on,
I
man.
was raised around women my whole life. I'm totally used to it. Don't even worry about it.
Hell yeah.
and also Last House on the Left. And it's surprising that there aren't more movies that have this kind of certain kind of male castration. You know, of course, I Spit on Your Grave. It's got the infamous
Spit on Your
bathtub
Grave, yeah.
scene.
That was
And the
almost on the
original,
list.
Last House on the Left has got castration via mouth by teeth, yeah.
Oh hell, that happens in Dayton, Ohio, all the time.
Good old revenge
That's
film
something
flicks,
you see
right?
in the news every now and then.
God, yeah, those are.
That's rough.
Let's not think about it.
No, let's just go back now.
Yeah, my number 9 is Grease. No.
Still the word.
Actually, no, it's Jay. Jay, it's your turn. It's your turn, Jay. My bad.
Well, I'm surprised one of you guys hasn't picked this one yet because it's kind of an obvious choice.
We're
To me,
doing.
it seems like a pretty obvious choice. And one of the greatest endings of all time.
Grease.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm
Same
starting.
way, Camp.
I'm starting at the bottom of my list. You
Yeah.
beat me to it.
Yes, I
Oh.
figured maybe all you guys, except for maybe Kathy, was going to have Sleepaway Camp on your list.
Honestly, I avoided it because I felt like
Is it too
Jake.
obvious?
no, I know that there's others here that would choose it. So it's kind of like when we've done Halloween stuff in the past.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking I'm going to do Sleepaway Camp as an honorable mention. I should have said that earlier. That way I wouldn't have to, because I just had a gut feeling, because it is such a big, huge favorite for cult classics and, well, summer films. So I was going to get
And
that.
I've heard that people that go to horror conventions, that one of the best guests to meet is Felissa Rose, that she is so cool to everybody. And she loves to talk about the movie. She loves to visit with folks and engage with folks, not just get the autograph and send you on. She actually talks to folks. And I've heard that Felissa Rose is real cool. Uh, um, you couldn't get Pamela Springsteen to say 2 words about, Sleepaway Camp 2 or 3. But yeah, Felissa Rose, I hear, is real cool.
Chris, didn't you have that experience with James Stu Courtney?
What experience?
Like, he was just super nice. I've
James
passed.
is, dude,
It's
I've met the dude probably 4 times now. He's always the coolest guy in the world. I mean,
But
he's
anyway,
just,
the Sleepaway Camp's one of the most fun films, slasher films. To me, it almost, like you said, with that film that kind of is doing sort of a parody of slasher films. I don't think that was the intention with Sleepaway Camp, but that's kind of the feeling I get whenever I watch it, is that you're almost in a way sort of spoofing slasher films. You know, I don't even know if that was intended when they were making it. It could be just the feeling that is conveyed, from it. And like I say, that ending, one of the most classic endings for a film, slasher film, and yeah, that I remember the very first time I saw it was a shock, but then of course you see it 1,000 times and the shock is gone. But when you first see that, if you didn't know that was going to happen, it was like, oh shit.
You seen one, you seen them all.
yeah.
My God, she's a boy.
Always wanted a little girl.
In my understanding, it's the real thing. There's an actor wearing a mask, Felissa Rose mask. So it's you're seeing the real business.
Yeah.
So
Nothing
anyway,
to get excited
I gotta
about.
say, but I figured someone was going to bring it. I went ahead and bring it up. Bring up Sleepaway.
I kind of was waiting. I kind of leaned off of that one because of Jake. I thought, man, me and Jake like that one.
Where were we at now? Forget.
Jake's turn.
Scott.
Oh, Scott.
Yeah.
Trying to remember. Is this number 9? Yeah.
For us, it is. Yeah, we're kind of doing. We're kind of out of the loop. Yeah.
Like, I don't have any numbers, so y'all go.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. Oh, yeah, number 10. I'm sorry. Oh yeah. Now this one, I think I'm starting to get a little bit more. Yeah. This I had to put it because I get a summer vibe, because the first time I had seen this film, and I was really excited to see it because I remember the trailer really scared the shit out of me. And I've seen it down the road, Flicker Palace, which is no longer where I'm pointing at. Like, you guys could tell where I'm pointing at. The original Dawn of the Dead. I seen that in the summer, and it scared the shit out of me. When I just the trailer scared me more than the film itself. But for some reason, I think another reason why I get that summer vibe. Great, I did see it in the summer. Remember when we had malls, kids? Duh.
Yeah.
The Dead,
Yeah.
the mall. So yeah, that was it's so cheesy when you look at it today, but there's just something about it. It's just so authentic. And even though the helicopter scene when it chops his head is funny as hell, but it's still, yeah, love the original Donald.
And that, no, it's one of my favorite movies, period. Not just a horror film, one of my favorite films, period. And it's back when Romero had that independent spirit, where he was doing it the way he was going to do it. And of course, when it was completed, there's a lot of theaters that wouldn't release it because because of the gore and the violence and stuff. So he said, well, fuck it, I'll release it unrated. I won't cut it. And that sort of independent spirit, particularly during that time period where you're out to make the money, and he stood his ground, and put out that movie the way he wanted it to be seen.
And the way they, of course, with the trailers, the way they had, where they showed it to you, like where it felt real as a kid, especially it felt real when you'd have the journalism, when they were talking about the dead coming after you, they'd show you just parts of where they had like the talk shows and all that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I just remember that. And then there was the elevator scene that totally freaked the shit out of me. I just remember that so much, so vividly. It's just like when I'd seen Halloween trailers in the theater. It's just Michael coming down the stairs and Dawn of the Dead with the damn, I miss those days. Today it's like, it might be good. All right. Jake the Snake.
Okay. When there's no more room in hell, the dead will fuck the earth. No. My number
Must be now.
number 10 is Summer Camp Nightmare,
Summer
1986.
Camp Nightmare. Okay.
Yeah, this movie's great. It has Chuck Connors in it, and these teens, they capture the staff and whatnot, and they mutiny and they run the camp, and hijinks ensue, and yeah, it's just a great classic that y'all have to check out if you haven't seen it. I think it's on YouTube for free. So
Yeah.
That sounds good. I
you
might
too.
have to watch that one. I always just make my little list. Some of them I've heard of, but most of them I haven't. I'm way behind in the curve.
All right.
Okay. It's me,
I
Yes,
think we're
ma'am.
back to you.
the final terror. Campers in California's Redwood Forest find that when they're camping and having a good time and partying, young people, young adults camping, that they're being stalked by a sadistic killer. Yeah. So bloodshed, murder, will they survive? I don't know, but you can see it on TV.
Yeah. I remember that now.
It's not very good, but I laughed. Okay. I'm sorry, it's suspenseful, and I laughed. I said, "Oh my gosh, get them!" But then, Final Destination is my jam, so I like seeing teenagers get it in the end. Okay.
Yeah. Those
That's
little
fair.
shits. Yeah, those little shits don't really get it that much today. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, they ain't
And
plugged
since,
in.
since you brought that up, those to me are great summer movies. Final Destination, all of them. So.
Yep.
For sure.
I'm
Honorable
waiting on
mention for
6.
sure.
Hunt for Red October.
All right. I'm getting into single digits now. Number 9 for me. It's got to be, I got to throw it a bone. Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Dream Master. I just got to throw it in there. It's got one of my favorite songs, I think, possibly in a movie. I love Dramarama. I love anything. That scene right there where he's doing his karate, like it was just like that was great. And then she inherits his powers towards the end, and she's just collecting all their power. I think that movie's great. I love it. And I'm not a huge Freddy fan, but that one's good. I like that one.
Fuck
Mr.
yeah,
Ryan.
sir. Sorry, I just had to add that. Dream Master is great. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Funny, I'm always a big fan of Robert Englund. Yeah, the Nightmare on Elm Streets have always been kind of my backseat for him. I always will appreciate and love him, but it's never been. I don't know why, because I do. I love Robert Englund. He's just
Mhm.
awesome. And him and I share the same birthday, so we
Oh,
weren't born
yep.
the same year.
June 6th.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Oh, Jay, where are you at?
Yeah. Uh, well, let me start off in giving a heads up on Dawn of the Dead. When you see the hundreds and hundreds of zombie movies that have been put out since Dawn of the Dead, and of course, The Walking Dead and all that. But to me, the best zombie of all time is Flyboy Zombie, David Enke. There isn't a better zombie on film than Flyboy Zombie. And when he emerges from that elevator, just his walk, that gun hanging from his finger, and the way his feet are cocked to one side, foot's, askew. And to me, that's it. That's the ultimate zombie is Flyboy Zombie, David Enke. And he passed away. Was it last year? David Enke passed away.
I think so.
So yeah, I wanted to bring up Flyboy Zombie, and since you bring it up, Dawn of the Dead. But anyway, my next choice. I've never hitchhiked in my life, but I used to mow yards with this old man. He drove this old pickup, and we would mow yards around the town, and get paid for it, of course. But I weed eat it, because I'm real nearsighted. I'm blind in my left eye. So, but I could weed. Well, you run the weed eater. But that old man, if he saw a hitchhiker, he would pitch up every hitchhiker he saw. But he made him ride in the back of the pickup. He wouldn't let him in the cab. He made him ride in the back, wanting to ride to town. But anyway, speaking of hitchhiking, and to me, this movie just feels like summer to me.
Oh yeah.
That's
There you go.
that's my jam.
Yeah, Kathy likes the picture. But anyway, of course, C. Thomas Howell and Rutger Hauer, one of the best villains in horror movie history, Rutger Hauer, and just the performances in that movie by those two, by C. Thomas Howell and Rutger Hauer, and the way things kind of flip, the where he starts out as a victim, C. Thomas Howell, and then becomes almost possessed by Rutger Hauer in the way he's acting, but anyway, and it makes me think of summer. The Hitcher always it has a summer feel to me, and anyway, just a great movie. Very, very tense. The way they build tension in this film is great.
And the only disturbing thing about that film is the reboot.
Okay, I've never seen it.
Oh,
Don't waste your time.
yeah, don't buy.
Okay, good.
And there's a Hitcher. What about the Hitcher too?
It's an extreme insult to what you've just had in your left hand.
Good. I won't watch it then.
And this is one of them old snap cases.
I mean, I can remember the first time I watched that was on HBO. And yeah, it's even the scene where the girl where he obviously has her tied up at the bumpers, and he's just letting that foot off that clutch so easily. I can remember being so tensed watching that scene, going like this. And because your imagination, you knew it was going to happen. It was what was up here that really messed you up, because the theater of the mind.
Yeah, and it's great that you mentioned that, because that is a prime example of you don't have to show.
Oh, trust me, we go through this subject.
You don't have to show it. You see it in your mind.
Yeah.
You don't see what happens, but in your mind, you see it.
Just like I'm willing to bet,
better.
Jake, when you watched Reservoir Dogs, when you got to see, Stuck in the Middle with You, where of course Mr. Blonde is dancing there. Boy, that ear scene, it was one of
the infamous ear scene.
But
the camera pans away.
Yeah.
As he's doing what he's doing. You
I
don't
swear,
see it.
most of our conversations when it comes to horror films is theater of the mind. And when we talk about the great ones, it's the theater of the mind. So
Always.
So speaking of theater of the mind, my number 9, as I'm being reminded something else was just taken out of my checking account. Yeah. The original. That's right. Stephen King's. That's right. Not Grease. I'm sorry. Sorry to say. The original Frankenfurter. No, I mean Pennywise. My bad. Because I'm thinking of, who am I thinking of? Pennywise, Frankenfurter. Come on, Jake.
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry. It.
I'm right now rewatching that.
Because it was a television, as we all know, and it was in the summertime. Of course, these kids are in their summer break, and when that first came out, Tim Curry scared the shit out of me because I hated clowns. So yes, I mean, who in the hell doesn't love it?
Yeah.
Love it.
Like I'm rewatching it now.
So that's my number 9.
That's a good one. Real good one.
I'm not going to tell you what my number 2 is. It's personal. Yeah. And that was bad.
Scott, to your point, great fucking choice. If there's any Kathy, forget about my friends. I love Stephen King. That's a classic. That's a great choice. Oh man. Okay, my number 9 is the Fun House.
Oh yeah.
Toby Hooper. And like I said, my logic, you go to a carnival or a fair in the summer. So yeah. Y'all know Toby Hooper. It's a classic and the great monster. And
oh my God. Yeah. Oh. I didn't even think, as soon as you said that, I thought of one that's not on my list. I'll just say Us. God damn, I can't believe I forgot about that one.
Oh man, yes.
Us. You liked Us?
Oh God. Oh yeah. Anything.
It's right here. It's
okay.
Right here.
Okay, we'll edit that part out. When he said the carnival, the fun house. Okay, I'm shutting up.
That's what I was thinking when I was trying to make a list. I'm like, Us. Okay. So is it me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
It's all of us.
I know we all good. We can't help it. Listen, Jordan Peele came out with Us.
Excellent director.
I call it a nightmare when the little girl goes, there's a family in the driveway. Yeah. And as they get closer and they start taking off them, and they just come in the house, and then they start taking off and terrorizing the family. One of the I think it's a little girl again, says, they look just like us.
What is the word? Doppelganger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This goes way beyond doppelganger. I'm telling you.
Nope.
They look like the family, know their thoughts, and of course, people will die. But I thought it was an excellent movie.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't know Jordan Peele from anything but his comedy. Mm-hmm. And so when we get a hold of this, I'm like, well written, well acted, very friggin' creepy. Bring it on. You know?
Kathy, please tell me you've seen Nope.
Haven't seen Nope. Oh, yes, I have. Wait. Yes, I have seen Nope.
I finally got through it, Scott. Finally got through
it. No one's asking me, but I'll say I didn't care for Nope. I thought it was only okay. I thought Us was really good. I actually think his best movie is his first, Get Out.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah. Nope. Sorry, I just had to put it there.
No, I thought was adequate.
Nope.
Here's the thing: Jordan Peele's like Quentin Tarantino. He's not afraid to do something different. He's done something different so far in each one of his horror films. So that's keep it up, Jordan Peele. Please continue making horror films. That's all. I guess
my problem with Nope is I just think it was too many ideas scattered around. It didn't focus itself.
Jay, you can't help it when you're wrong, honey. You're just wrong.
What is it with that damn shoe, though?
Yeah.
Seriously, that shoe with the monkey and all that, and the shoe is
the bit with the monkey was really good, and like I said, just really good parts.
That was based on a true story, but that shoe, What the hell? That was just
There.
that, yeah, that's like I'm going back to Quentin Tarantino. Paul. Oh shit, I can't say it. Jake hasn't seen it yet. Damn it.
Okay, 2 words. Kiki Palmer. She was beautiful in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Kiki Palmer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love
Brother's
Kiki
gonna
Palmer.
take
She's cool.
brother's gonna take care of her. Yeah, if he can. Oh, it was good. Really
Yeah.
good. No.
See, Jordan Peele, if you were watching right now, you're getting a lot of love. It's a beautiful wave. Great, good, not so good, but you're interesting, and you need to continue making horror films. That's all I'm trying to say.
Please give us something fresh to watch because there's not a whole lot left out there, honestly. I
That's
haven't
for
seen
sure.
Get Out, though. I'll watch Get Out now that it's on my list.
Yeah, you got to see Get Out. To me, that's his best.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy them all. That's for sure. Oh God, number 8. Is it my turn? I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't think so.
Kathy and then me, right?
Well, I don't.
Yeah, I think it's Chris after me, then
Thanks, me.
Jay, then Scott, right?
There
And
goes
then
Scott.
Jay.
There goes Scott again. He's trying to take my turn and everything. It's just
I'm sorry. I thought, you know what? I'll
It's
just.
hard to keep up with it the
Just
way
messing
we're
with
the
you.
way
What's going
we're
to happen when Chris and I actually do a podcast again next year? I'm not going to say a word because I knew it. I've got this guilty conscience. This is what I'm going to do. I got this mute button.
It's all right, Scott. It's
I like messing with him. That's all.
This mute button is so fresh. Gee, I wonder why.
Never been used.
oh no.
Good Lord.
And that's what I was. Oh, see,
Were you recreating Deliverance there? What happened?
I thought you just farted, man. Honestly,
I
that's
think it was a debate thing, wasn't it?
Oh,
and that's why Mother loved me.
all right. My number 8. It's already been said, but gotta stick to my list here. It's gonna be Sleepaway Camp.
Yes.
It has to be. It has to be on the list. Man, what can I say that hasn't already been said? And I know some of our lists are gonna overlap each other, and that's just because we all love good movies. But yeah, there I am.
By the way, I didn't get to do 8, but I'll wait. It's a very important date.
Who's next? Jay?
Scott.
Jay, right?
Jay.
Is it Jay or Scott? Jay, now this is what you gotta do is keep up with us. I get lost.
In all seriousness, I thought Jay went, then I did, and then Chris. My bad. I don't remember. See, it's that Bidenotics. What is it called? Bidenotics?
No, we should have wrote it down. We should have established a
Biden
list.
Biden's fucked me, huh?
Poor guy. It's okay, Scott. It's okay. He won't be around long.
I don't know if that was funny, Kathy, but at the same time, was it?
It's a fact. We ain't gonna all live forever. Come on now.
Hey, if we see another 4 years, I'm leaving.
The hill.
Canada, here we come.
I'm out of here.
I'm going to another country. I'm going to South Carolina. Sorry.
Jay, go ahead.
Go, Jay.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Poor Jay.
Okay, I'll give one.
I think so. We're coming off the rails. I'm not sure.
This is just a quick
God damn it,
throwaway.
Joe.
I think Jake brought this up in one of our recent broadcasts on my show, and my dad used to go do what was called frog gigging, where he had this. It was a metal. It was a long wooden pole, and it had this clamp on the end of it that you opened it up, and when you hit the frog with it, it clamped on the frog, and he'd put the frog in potato sacks. And you ate their legs, and yeah, they taste like chicken, and you barely.
I didn't.
Yeah,
You barely
Yeah,
get
they
any
do.
meat on them. You got to kill like 20 frogs to get a decent meal.
Did
Anyway,
Duck Dynasty make a horror movie?
frogs.
Oh,
And
yeah. Yeah, I
I
remember.
think I think Jake brought up frogs in a recent
Oh
show.
my God, I seen that at the drive-in. Holy
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
But anyway,
Sam Elliott.
this is a summer movie, and that's not really my official choice, but I'm going to bring up frogs. So okay, but my official choice is now. Here's one where you gotta. I feel like I have to go. Well, I love the movie, but I'm a good person. I don't appreciate the director and the crimes that he's committed, Victor Salva, but I love Jeepers Creepers.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Me
Yeah.
too, Jay. And
Yeah.
you got to separate the art from the sleaze. I mean, you just
Yeah.
got to.
But and to me, it's very much a summer movie. It has a summer feel to it, and the creature in Jeepers Creepers is one of the best designed creatures in horror, and particularly recent horror, meaning recent in the last 20 years or so. But yeah, that's my next choice, Jeepers Creepers. And yeah, Victor Salva is a son of a bitch, but but he made a great movie, at least one great movie.
Yeah, Jeepers Creepers. I'll get to that. Hint, hint. But I've got to go to my 8 because number 8's Cabin in the Woods.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was a great one for me. You can't help but think of Evil Dead, but it just, yeah, I had to think of something that wasn't. I'm going to go ahead and say it now because no one has said it yet, and I'm going to ruin it for somebody, but I'm not going to because I'm thinking, no, don't. That's mean, Scott, because I'm not going to say a typical one that should have been said already. But Cabin in the Woods, I'll keep it simple and keep it neat since I'm always interrupting. So Cabin in the Woods was my number 8.
Mm.
That movie, it's something that I recommended to Kathy. I said, you got to see Cabin in the
Yeah.
Woods.
He said, you seen it? I said, no. He said, you
Yeah.
seen it? I said, Jay, I'll go watch it.
And
So
that's
I
a
did
movie.
watch it.
That's a movie where
Really good.
you don't want to spoil the ending because it goes into direction that you've never seen it before. It goes into direction you have no idea it's going to go in this direction, and it starts off in what just a very well made sort of slasher film, Cabin in the Woods, and it starts off on kind of a typical style of that kind of movie, and then takes a turn like the last half of the film takes this turn. You're like, oh shit.
And to be fair, when I mentioned Evil Dead, the remake, the actual reboot of Evil Dead is not bad. We don't hardly hear that word or that in movies at all. But the remake of Evil Dead reminds me more of Cabin in the Woods than the original Evil Dead. I didn't get to just clarify that, so my bad. Not that it fucking matters. So that
Well,
being
it does, because I'm a student here with you guys. I'm still learning. Okay. So I appreciate it. All input, Scott.
there you go. If you want to see the remake of Evil Dead, in other words, we always make fun of these reboots because they're lazy and simple, and why not? That's Hollywood today. But the remake is actually pretty decent. Man, I just thought of something in that movie I don't like though. I have a thing about eyes.
Oh, I can picture that. Thanks. Oh God, that the guy with the long hair.
As he takes his hair out of the ponytail.
And he's like, oh God. First off, Jay, great choice, man. Jeepers Creepers, love it. Just, man, it's a personal favorite. So
Yeah.
Cabin in the Woods. All right.
It's Cabin. Yeah, I recommend it.
I got Ice Cream Man. Directed by
Ice Cream Man was actually played on the 78 Eruption.
Oh, look at that. That's pretty.
You
That's
said Ice
beautiful.
Cream Man, Van Halen. It was on the 78 Eruption.
Oh yeah, oh cool. I went over my head for a second at it. Man.
Not the shark. I'm sorry. We're doing movies, right? Not music, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And they can go hand in hand, man.
Yeah.
This is what I didn't even know until I just looked at it. It's a double feature, and it's Ice Cream Man and Jack Frost 2.
Revenge of the Killer Snowman or something like that. But Clint Howard, man, his performance was great. You know, just seeing him gleefully kill people, just shit like that. Yeah, and he was creepy as hell. Ugh.
Yep.
Okay,
yeah.
it's me. I'm after Jake, but now listen, this really is not a good movie. Okay,
Oh man.
I know, but in
It
2019, they
doesn't have
came
to
out.
be.
I know that's what's so good about them. They're so bad. Aqua Splash,
Uh,
2019, set at a water park. Thrills, chills, tiny bikinis, gory, and dismemberment. You ain't live till you watching somebody come down the water slide and you see a torso and legs and nothing else. And the water's full of blood.
I seen the trailer, but not the movie. So
I've
okay.
not seen that one. I've not seen that
Well,
one.
if you've seen the trailer, you've seen most of the movie.
Okay.
It's one of those.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay. Well, I will stop there.
These horror films can be disgusting. Some
Yeah.
horror films.
Just as I used to tell everybody, just purity nasty.
Yeah, I mean, as everybody's talking about their list here, something about the horror summer films, man,
Yeah.
we're already miserable from the heat, and they got a yeah. Never mind.
Well,
They got a target audience, don't they?
Teenagers that like to see floating blood and guts. I guess.
Go watch ER if you want to see that shit.
Makes sense. I believe I'm at 7. Is that correct?
7. Yeah,
We're 7. We're 7. This is man, this one just gives me end of summer, like going into October, just perfect vibes. Idle Hands. Devon Sawa, Seth Green, Jessica Alba.
ooh.
It's just, man, it's just a good, just teenage, just, nothing else to do, smoking bongs or whatever the hell they're doing, and just just killing each other. It's just a good time. It's just a good movie.
God, I haven't seen Seth Green in ages. All right.
Love that movie, man.
Oh yeah. I have seen that, yeah.
She's just very
I hope
good.
so.
I just watched a movie with Jessica Alba that's pretty new, and she is whooping honey and taking names. I'm like, I didn't know she was an little action star, but she's good.
Is she doing movies again?
I thought she was just tolerating her husband's bullshit.
Well, no, she's did this movie. I don't know, and it's you can tell it's pretty. Well, you can tell she's a little longer in the tooth, but she's a pretty woman. But yeah,
she is. I mean,
Yeah.
she is.
Yeah, she does a good job at that.
She's more attractive than
she brings the goodies. Well, okay, I'm sorry.
no. I'll thumbs up.
No lies told. Jay, on to you, buddy.
Thinking of her in the remake of a certain Texas movie. Sorry.
Is it Jake or Jay?
Jay.
Me.
Yeah.
No, Jay, yeah.
Yeah, the J word.
That's me. Being on the stream with both of them, it's hard sometimes.
I told Kathy that our next actual show will probably be about made for TV stuff. TV horror, TV scary TV, Twilight Zone, Outer Limits, Masters of Horror, made for TV movies.
Those are TikTok videos.
That'll probably be our next subject. And this is a made for TV movie. I remember seeing this as a kid. Once again, one of those, CBS, late night films, watching this with the family and just being, just scared to death. I love it. I always had nightmares, but always went back to those movies. I was attracted to them, but they scared the shit out of me. So why? Why would I keep going back when it kept scaring me? But anyway, Dark Knight of the Scarecrow.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that at the video store.
Yeah, Larry Drake, and yeah. And anyway,
damn, that takes me back.
you know, he's a mentally challenged fellow, and he's accused of a crime that he didn't commit, and he's killed by the townsfolk. And he comes back. They put, I think, as I remember, they put that scarecrow hood over his head when they kill him, and he comes back as a murderous scarecrow, and you know, hunts them down one by one. But anyway, great movie, great performance by Larry Drake, and just, you know,
Wow.
you know, back when they did it really well, made for TV movies like this, and makes me think of summertime. You know, the scarecrow, and yeah, the way he kills folks. He kills one guy in a grain elevator that's really cool, or a grain. It's a grain. What do you come out of an elevator? But a grain, it holds grain. What is it? Or like silo? Yeah, yeah. He drowns him in, is it corn or wheat or something? but anyway, yeah. Dark Knight of the Scarecrow. That's my next one. So.
Gee, Chris, does that remind you a lot of a Violent Nature?
It's not on the list.
Oh, gee, I should edit that in real quick. Speaking of movies that are summer, gee, are we there yet? This, as a kid, because there was another film that I'm not going to talk about yet, but it definitely fucked with my head because I was really getting into aquatics. It's cheesy, but Piranha, the original,
Yeah.
oh my God. As a kid that was really getting to aquatics then and learning about even South American cichlids. Yes. Learning more about piranhas, the red bellies, the black bellies, how much more aggressive, and then watching them attack a goldfish, and then thinking of that movie, how cheesy it was. I had a sick infatuation with them. I was really afraid of them, but I was so curious about them. And that movie, yeah. I think about a lot of these summer movies as a kid, and my mom took me to a lot of drive-in movies. She fucked me up. But
I did that to Jay. I carried him. He was little, y'all, like six or seven. I carried him to see Carrie at a drive.
Oh yeah. Ooh, that's
yeah. So Carrie at the drive-in, and she took me to see what was it, Barbarella? You know, and over Jane Fonda's naked at the beginning, floating in midair, but I was too young to be attracted to her. But but anyway, you bringing up Piranha, that instantly puts me in mind. Of course, it's Joe Dante. I think it was his first film, Joe Dante.
South American cichlids. Yeah, sorry,
yeah, Joe Dante, and there was a water park. What was it? You know, San Marcos? Is that where it was, Kathy?
Yeah, it's still there, but it's not open to the public. The university.
But anyway, it used to be a park called Aquarena Springs.
Aquarena Springs.
Oh, I thought you said Aqua Wiener Springs. That's like
Aquarena Springs. Well, anyway,
I'm not going there.
A majority of Piranha was filmed there. And you know, in fact, there's some shots you can actually see Aquarena Springs in the background because it takes place at a water park. A lot of it takes place.
Okay.
And the way that they simulated Piranha was when it was open to the public, you could ride. It was a flat bottom boat, and it was a glass bottom boat where you could see the fish underneath the bottom of the boat, and you could buy these little bags of food to throw in the water. And there were these perch that when you threw the food in the water, they'd go.
Yeah.
And
it's terrifying.
Well, they would just throw some fake blood in the water and throw some of these pellets in the water, and then just around actors, you know, it looked like they were eaten alive by piranha, but it was these little perch. But anyway, a majority of Piranha was filmed at this Aquarena Springs, which I've been. I think it was twice in my life I went to Aquarena Springs. They had this submersible kind of like a submarine exhibit that you went down, and you went underwater, It had a glass, front. You saw women dressed up like mermaids were putting on a show and breathing through air tubes. But anyway, the culmination was a swimming pig, and it swam across the water underwater. Swimming pig.
I've
But-
actually seen a lot of when I was going down. I use this phrase a lot, rabbit hole, and I used to really get into aquatics. I'd actually seen larger piranhas where they would feed them pigs and stuff. Oh my God, it's horrifying. Little, yeah. When you said that, oh yeah, I don't recommend watching that stuff because it's just, I mean, it's natural, it's nature, but it's just something about it. And like you said, that's how they are. They're like little fucking miniatures.
But anyway, I love Piranha. That's another great, what I would call a drive-in movie, Piranha.
Where I've seen it the first time. My mom, she don't like horror movies, but she liked them when I was a kid and really messed me up. Speaking of that, an eye for horror.
Okay, my we're at number 7, right?
Yeah. 7-Eleven.
Okay, my number 7 is Uncle Sam, directed by 1996, directed by William Lustig. And it was written by Larry Cohen, but uh, and it has Isaac Hayes, who played Chef from South Park, in it. It's just a fun movie, Sam Harper comes back and he kills the guy in Uncle Sam costume, and it's just fun. I don't know, so check it out. It's on.
I'm not trying to be rude. I gotta let my dog outside. So.
Oh shit, no problem.
Oh no, who let the dogs out?
Who let the dogs out?
I couldn't help it. Okay, well, so I'll jump into one real quick, y'all. Malibu Shark Attack. It's so cheesy. I watched it a while ago. It came out in 2009, hour and 30 minutes. I made it. It took me a couple of tries. A tsunami floods Malibu and unleashes a honey pack of sharks, trapping a group of lifeguards and a team of construction workers in high water. They're hungry. Malibu Shark Attack. That's my Dead Pit flashed up on. They're about to do a show in about 30 minutes. I'm thinking, what is that? Okay, Dead Pit saying, "Hey."
What's their show about?
I don't know. It was so fast. It popped up and then popped off, which is good. I mean, I didn't need to be looking at it really. Not now. I'm on a show with Eye for Horror. But anyway, I just thought this was funny. I'm sorry. I feel evil a little bit when, no, I don't care. When animals eat people in these shows. I kind of like it. I don't want a dog or a cat or a turtle or even a bird, but hurt. But you can eat all the people and rip them apart that you want to in these shows.
I walk in, you can eat all the people.
Yeah,
Survival of the fittest, right?
Well, Scott, I recapped Malibu Shark Attack, man.
Oh.
You didn't miss nothing.
Malibu Shark Attack.
Well, I haven't seen that one. I will add it to the list though, and I will watch that, and I'll get back to you. I have not seen that one.
Well, it's an hour and a half now, so tread lightly.
All right.
Sharkinator.
Number six, man, I gotta go. Just seeing it in theaters, it was such a great experience. And then I watched it with my girls recently, and they were just on the edge of their seat with it. I just had so much fun watching it with them. And exactly. A Quiet Place. John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, and man, that movie is so well done.
What's the one that's out now? Year one?
Did it come out? Did it?
Yes.
I haven't
I
been
think it came
keeping
out.
track.
I think it is.
I think it just came out.
Okay, I haven't seen it, but
It just came out this weekend.
just the original. I didn't even like the second one that much at all, but just the
No.
original, it was just such a good take on the importance of sound. The way they did that movie, it was just so well done to me, and really sharing it with my girls, it was just like it put it over the top for me. It was just such a good experience. Like when I'm sure we're going into spoiler territory for anybody who's never seen it, but
He's
man,
nothing like Jim.
when the dad
Go
died,
ahead.
it really
Yeah, was surprised.
messed the girls up,
I was surprised the guy from The Office directed it. Did a really
Yeah.
good job.
John Krasinski.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard John actually did that scene first. That way he could really focus on directing, which makes sense. Because I'm like, yeah, let's get that scene over with now. That way I can focus directing the rest of this film. That's actually brilliant, John. But then again, he was so smart in The Office. It makes sense. Mr.
Yeah.
And he married well too.
Oh, Emily Blunt is beautiful. She's amazing.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gosh.
He had a lot of practice with Pam.
I mean, if you're gonna have kids, she's a good one to do it with.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
And talk about the scenes or shots that make you wince is when she steps barefoot on that nail.
Oh no.
Ouch.
Ouch, 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 ouch.
And of course she can't scream, so
Yep.
yeah.
I'd rather talk about the shit in Terrifier than think about that. And
We'll mess you up. Hang in there.
I said no beer tonight. If we keep this shit up, what the fuck? Never mind.
I'm already 2 down, Scott. Where you at?
4 o'clock comes early.
I know.
Stupid. See, every once in a while, Chris, I do show that responsible side.
I know. I applaud you.
Sucks.
Sucks.
Because I get to drink and I can't stop. So I'm like, beer to me is like Doritos.
Feel you on that one, buddy.
Oh yeah.
Jay, on to you, buddy.
Yeah. Well, this is a movie that I think I'm not crazy about a lot of his films, but this is one that I keep turning to and that I keep watching, that I still saw this in the theater and always really enjoyed this. And I think it got sort of the drive-in feel right. And it had been a while since I'd seen a film done well that sort of got the drive-in feel. The gore is good, but it's kind of, it has a weird vibe to it. It has some weird scenes. It's got that freaky pancake kid, Cabin Fever.
Oh,
Yeah, Cabin Fever. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And that movie is just weird to me. It just has a weird vibe.
Big difference between the year 2020. Sorry.
Yeah. Then when he went to Hostel, I was like, well, that's just too much. There was no real imagination to Hostel. It was just shock for shock value. That's when they got the torture porn business,
Yeah.
But I thought Cabin Fever had some originality to it. It was funny in places like that damn pancake kid, just it's weird things like that. I'm not going to say the word, but one of the funniest endings in a movie is the way that movie ends. Had me just screaming with laughter. Yeah, it's offensive, but funny as hell. I thought that ending. But anyway, yeah, Cabin Fever, and it makes me think of summer. Cabin Fever.
Let's see. This was brought up earlier, not too long ago, moments ago, probably 5-10 minutes ago.
Hmm.
And it was definitely, I remember just the long, wide shots, or the shot in the beginning with the car, just taking its sweet ass time, coming down the road with the conversation between the brother and the sister. And then, of course, with the, playing the state tag with the names and all that. Of course, I'm giving you major hints. I'm sure we all know what movie I'm talking about now, because like I said, it was already stated earlier. But the scene that really fucked with my head the most made me think of when you're having a nightmare, or you're having like one of those nightmares of a bad guy, a demon, a villain, a serial killer, or the guy that's wearing the hockey mask, or that stupid latex white painted masks, or whatever you call them.
Don't you say that.
But this concept brought back the actual monster movies. But like I said, when you're having that nightmare where you're driving and that bad guy, that demon, sees you seeing him as you're driving by, as he's throwing some sheet covered in blood down those tunnels, that got me more than any other scene from Jeepers Creepers. And then shortly after I had watched that movie for the first time, come to find out Edward, that truck, the truck that he was driving, which I can never remember the name of, but Edward actually had one very similar to that. Of course, more souped up, more painted beautifully and all that. And I always think of Edward's truck at Jeepers Creepers for some reason. Well, gee, I wonder why. But yeah, he had damn, what's the name of it? But could you imagine a legendary guitar hero having a truck that was the same truck from Jeepers Creepers?
No.
That is badass. Jeez.
Yeah. So yeah,
I wonder if he ever tried to dress up.
He's like a lot of, like, we know this so well. All these individuals, I'm trying to do something different with my microphone, that have the money to just like, oh, I gotta have it. I gotta have it. All I got, call the bank up and then boom, I write you a check or whatever. But Edward was at a particular place where he was taking, I forget what vehicle it was. It was a souped up, it might have been one of his Ferraris or Lamborghinis, and he's seen that truck. It was the same damn truck, the same year and all that. And I wish I could remember the name of it right now, because I feel like I'm butchering the story. But yeah, Edward had the same truck as Jeepers Creepers. Somehow I always bring Edward into every damn podcast. You know?
Got to draw from your inspirations, buddy.
That's right. So that's my number 7, Jeepers Creepers. Where'd you get those eyes, Jake?
Hi, mine is the 1974 Tobey Hooper classic, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Never heard. I've got to see that film.
Yeah.
It's such a yeah, I know it's a classic.
There's some stuff. I've got something. Yeah, I've got to see it. Okay.
Look what your brother did to the toy. Just the cook and such. I love that movie. It's a classic. Also, I was able to meet Gunnar Hansen back in 2012 in Columbus at Horror Hound, and but
very cool.
I forgot to mention a movie he was in. Oh well, but yeah, he was cool though.
Directed Poltergeist.
Yes, love Poltergeist. Kathy.
All right. Okay, so it's an independent movie, so y'all probably never heard of it. But I watched it not long ago, and it's one of those where you think you've escaped and you've gone through hell, but you hadn't. Eden Lake. It came out in 2008. Horror thriller in Indy. A British couple takes a trip to a private and isolated lake quarry for a vacation. They're going to camp, they're going to smooch and all that fun stuff, only to be targeted by lurking mob of psychotic teenagers. And they kill him first, and then she takes off running and tries to hide and tries to she killed one of them. She got one of them back, but it's horrible because when they're killing that poor boyfriend of hers, they're in their, I don't know, 30s maybe. It's piece by piece by piece, you know what I mean? So you hear him hollering and screaming, and all she can do is kind of hide till she can try to get away and get help. and I no spoilers, but she gets away and ends up in one of the psycho's houses trying to get help. But it's really good. I mean, it keeps you guessing. A lot of jump scares. But if you've ever seen Yellowstone, that Western, the chick that plays his daughter,
Yeah,
is the girl in Eden Lake of the couple. It's really good. I mean, I like it because she lured me in. I'm like, oh, that ain't your daddy's Western, though. It's really good.
so Beth is in it.
Yes, she's a star in it. Yeah.
Okay.
In this indie.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yep.
Eden Lake. I'll add that one too. Shit.
It came out in 2008. She goes through hell and high water trying to survive. Honestly, it's really good. And she's just as cute as a button in it, Anyway.
Yeah.
There you go.
Gotta love Beth. All right. Number 5. This, I don't know because it kind of straddles the line of thriller, horror / martial arts action. And I'm a kind of a big martial arts, I love martial arts movies. I think the world of them. But there's a movie on Netflix. It's owned by Netflix. It was done completely by Netflix, and it's
Tiger
called
King.
Oh, damn it.
Oh.
It's called The Night Comes for Us. I don't know if you guys ever seen it. It's Indonesian.
I've heard of it.
I don't have
Oh
Netflix
my
anymore,
God.
so I don't know.
The night comes for us.
Iko Uwais and Joe Talsum. Man, it's just it's so well done, and it's such like a fast-paced just action, just constant action, and it just keeps you on the edge of your seat. It's so well done. And if I could recommend it, just give it one watch through. It's such a good movie.
And what's the title again?
The Night Comes for Us.
The Night Comes for Us.
Yes.
Yep. Got my list.
2018 movie.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to watch it because it's on Netflix.
Oh,
I love love me some Netflix.
I'm like everybody else. I've got way too many streaming services and Netflix. Whenever I feel like I need to catch up, I'll sign up for it again for $6.99, and then I'll Netflix pissed me off a while ago, and I just didn't bother signing up with it too. When they took The Office off, I was like,
see, when they took Friends off was the last straw for me.
oh yeah, that too.
But the girls, man, my daughters, they've made my life living hell. Literally, like we have to have Netflix back.
We need it.
Daddy,
So I'll never get rid of it.
I need my crack back, Daddy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Everybody I know has Netflix except for me. I'm the weird one.
Well, is HBO now Max? I can't keep up with them.
Yeah.
See, that's the one. Yeah, no.
They own Cinemax, but yeah, it's called I don't get it either.
Yeah, I don't have it either. And I moved in December into this apartment. I'm thrilled to be in, but long story short, I just went with Wi-Fi. They said, "Oh, but our cable package, no, but we offer no. I want your Wi-Fi." And I'm lucky because I've got a very, very good Wi-Fi company here where I live in this little town called Georgetown, Texas. And I said, "Nope." She said, "But you'll have to stream." I said, "Yep."
That's what I think everybody does this day and age.
Yep. Better believe it.
Okay. And sadly enough, the moral of the story, cable's cheaper than streaming services now.
Yeah, there's nothing I want to watch on it, I'll be honest.
There's cable, as we all know. You have 2 channels you like, and they have 100, 2004. Yeah, you don't watch them. So
there you go. Yeah.
Oh, so sad.
So
Scott,
who's
I'm gonna
after
have to give you
me?
my my Netflix code or some shit because
I
you
don't
need to
want
see
it.
that movie, buddy.
No, thank you, but no, thank you.
No, I didn't mean to. It has nothing to do with the film. It's just I got so much like everybody else. It's like, you can't do that. Remember, that's another thing I don't like about Netflix.
Oh
No,
yeah,
you
you can't.
can. You can. I promise. You can.
Uh-uh.
You just
Really?
write it up as though you're
Netflix is the
traveling.
devil.
Easy there. Easy, Adam Sandler.
Yeah, but Netflix is the devil because it was like I did that was it's like that was the number three strikes and you're out. Like you said, Friends, The Office, and it's like, well, we can't have you sharing your password. And it's like, well, what if I have a trailer so I can't use Netflix in my RV and I can't use it in my home? Because I wanted to use that logic on them, like I had a conversation with Mr. Netflix. But that's basically you can't do that. Supposedly, I'm thinking, you know what? Fuck you. I'll watch the other one. I got my YouTube out there in the living room, which pisses me off because it's like you watch, YouTubers for like 5 seconds and it goes to an ad, 90-second ad. Then you watch them again for like 5 seconds, 90-second ad. I'm like, damn, YouTube has done such a good job of finding out a way to make money. Not for us, though.
Yeah, I don't pay that extra. They're always, but without ads, I'm like,
Yeah.
that's all right.
Sorry. See, Netflix has brought out the worst in me. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore.
No,
God,
we're going
Biden.
down a bad one here.
Yeah. Biden economics is screwing up my head again. Sorry, Jake. What are we doing here? I forget.
I believe Jay's next.
Uh,
Oh, the
Scares
movie.
him every time.
okay. Now this one, I don't know why I think this is a summer movie, but I think of summer when I watch this. And I used to way back in the early 2000s when I was promoting my movie Dawn at the Texas Frightmare Weekend. I would also do some interviews with some of the guests for this site, deadpit.com, back in the day. And the very first person I interviewed was Dee Wallace. And I was so nervous and just, anyway, to meet her, it's the mother from E.T. and all that, But she was so sweet, so nice. And this is another great movie that she's in. And another Joe Dante movie, where you mentioned Piranha. And it's this group of folks that are out in the woods in this cabin, the colony. And Dee Wallace plays this news reporter going to investigate what's going on out there with this group in the woods. And they have something in common, namely, they're all werewolves.
Best transaction scenes of a werewolf I've ever seen.
And and what was it? Is it Rob Bottin did the effects, I believe? Who did the effects in the thing? Originally, I think it was going to be Rick Baker, but
yes, you're right.
Yeah, but then he went to American Werewolf in London, and Rob Bottin took over for the House. And but yeah, great transformation effects, different than American Werewolf, but still very unique and very well done. And just the whole tone of the movie is great.
It is. Love that movie.
But it makes me think of summer when I watch The Howling. And the cutest werewolf in history is Dee Wallace at the end. I guess you would call her sort of a teddy bear werewolf.
And to prove that Howling is such a great one, it's like all the other great originals, the Texas Chainsaw, the Exorcist, and we're going to use the Howling. All the other ones that they tried to, we're going to make a sequel. Well, they went flat. They just missed it, the marking big time. Howling, yeah.
What was the sequel? My
great.
Daughter is a Werewolf. Is that or
I think it was called The Howling. Jake could have done a better job with it. Part two. I mean, it was just, yeah, The Howling. You're right. That is, I haven't seen that movie in a long time, and that's another good sign of a great film. You don't see it available everywhere on streaming services. So I'd say, ooh, that means you got to go out and find it on physical media. You know, by the way, folks, and I know Chris, Jake, Kathy, no offense, but the one person in this podcast that's doing it right every movie that he discusses here, in his mind, he's saying, I don't need that streaming services. I got the physical media right here to prove what my number 5, number 6, number 3, Jay, you're just making us all look bad.
Oh, he knows. No, I don't have a lot of physical
Well,
media.
now, and I appreciate you saying that. Now, the way I watch movies these days is primarily streaming. Right now, the TV I'm using, the damn button or whatever you call it, the feature where you can watch things that are actually inputted into the TV, such as a Blu-ray player, 4K player, whatever. It doesn't work. Well, I've got the damn extended warranty, and so I've got a new TV still in the box sitting here. It's a TCL 55-inch. I still haven't hooked it up because I've got to put in all my damn passwords and all that. So I've been watching this all streaming stuff now. But yeah, I've still got the old Blu-rays, the old DVDs and stuff. And then when Jake told me what the theme was, I just started going through my shelves and picking what.
He's got a lot of media. Well, so does Jake. Jake's got a lot of media too.
Yeah. Jake showed off his
Chris
collection.
has got quite a bit to his left, to be honest.
I would throw Silver Bullet in there as well.
Yeah.
Like
great. Silver Bullet, Gary Busey, great performance by Gary Busey.
Flashdance.
Grease.
Grease.
Yeah.
It is the word.
I would those are two good ones. That's real good.
And I'm speaking over Chris right now, but I'm speaking for him. He does have a large physical media to his left right now. So
I could have grabbed them, but I'm just lazy.
Yeah.
Jay's not lazy. I'm lazy.
I'm lazy. That's what streaming service has done to me. It's made me lazy.
Yeah.
I used to be like 175 pounds, and streaming service came along, and now it's like, can we please Free Willy? Because that's what the movie's really based off of, my fat ass. And is it my turn yet? My number 6 is Free Willy. I don't know whose turn it is.
It's your turn, Scott.
Oh shit!
What a great movie. Here, like hey, watch, Scott.
My ex-wife's this is too much information. Wait a minute. This isn't on our good. Okay, good. Because wait a minute, she might watch this on Jake's. I'm not going to talk about what I was about ready to share. Something about ex-wife and Free Willy and toys.
Oh, yeah,
that's
you
know what? Speaking of toys, I guess is it number 5 now? Yeah. We've already basically talked about this, or I've mentioned it enough already. And there's no doubt about it. It's a summer film for me. Evil Dead, the original one.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Kathy. I know the 4 of us. Kathy, have you seen Evil Dead?
Yes. Evil Dead 2.
Yes.
Yes.
Sam. Always butcher his last name. Raimi.
Yeah.
That man was a genius of taking something so simple. Okay, here's our camera this day and age. He would take that camera, bolt it to a 2x4. So when you see the shots where he's going through the woods, that's all it is they took that car and they've got that camera bolted onto a 2x4, and that's how you get those shots.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's so simple, and it's how much did it cost him? Probably that 2x4 probably cost him 99 cents. Now the camera was about at that time probably $5,000. So you got to get 99-cent 2x4s to get that shot going. But it's just the stuff that he did. That it's so funny. I always think of behind the scenes with a lot of movies. But yeah, I'm going to shut up and just say Cabin. I already did that one. Evil Dead. I think of that swing.
Yeah, Spider-Man really fucked him up.
No. Oh, the last Spider-Man where Sam Raimi or whatever? I'm thinking of something that it was the Doctor Strange where he directed that. You could definitely tell he was directing that one.
Yeah.
You see a lot of his camera shots. All right. I'm done with my number, whatever it was. Hunt for Red Octobers. That's right. Number 5, Evil Dead.
Okay. My number 5. I Know What You Did That Summer.
What did we do?
I do too.
Oh,
You
this
should
movie
have
is
done
great,
it. You should have helped that man.
You been watching me, Jake?
man.
Oh yeah.
Just on the man cave. Oh, but yeah, this movie is just a classic, and it's a Scream clone, I like the clone a lot, and it's very creative and whatnot, and a great cast too.
Yeah, I like the cast a lot too. Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's a standalone. In other words, you don't have to watch 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what I mean? It's just it's original on its own, and that's what I like about it.
Oh, right.
And it's still a mystery. Is it a statement or a question? But if you look at the DVD, it's a statement. I know what you did last summer.
There you go.
I actually had that on my list originally. I'm like, nah, somebody else is going to have it. It is a good one, though. It is a standalone. You're right about that.
Yep.
And to think that we have somebody that was in that film that is now in prison. Dan it, Dammy. Dammy? I meant Danny.
It reminds me of Rocky Horror when you said, "Damn it, Janet." You know.
I want to screw. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
You said Rocky Horror Picture Show. I automatically got to throw out the damn it, Janet. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, there you go. I had when my daughter is 40 now, but when she's 14, she discovered the theater locally close to our home, Saturday night Rocky Horror Picture Shows. Oh Lord. If I took her to see it once, I bet we went 2,500,000
Yeah.
times. But it was good memories the first few times with her.
Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
I went to college at what was called North Texas State University, and it was in a town near Dallas called Denton. Well, that's the town that takes in Rocky Horror Picture Show. The town is Denton, and so they had a 4-screen theater, and one screen was reserved to the Rocky Horror Picture Show. So I saw it several times on weekends, Saturday nights. Go watch the Rocky Horror Picture Show in Denton at their theater there.
Well, I'm going to bring up one nobody's heard of. It's a horror. I can't say horror. I don't know why. But anyway, it's horror. It is a foreign international movie. Came out in 2013. It's called Dark Sea, SEA. As a Brazilian fishing village celebrates the opening of a brothel, a mysterious contamination mutants its marine life into blood-craving monsters.
Maybe I was for some reason going to say, but I was been totally off. That was it Open Waters?
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's good.
That was a really good one. Yeah, I liked Open Water. But this is Dark Sea.
Yeah.
It's unknown, and probably for good reason why nobody has heard of it. But anyway, I thought it sounded interesting. So there you go. That's my 5.
Yeah. It's just a jump to the left.
And then a step to the right.
And then, of course, what we said, not to put your hand on your hips, you put your hand on her tits. Put your knees in. Group sex. Oh, God. Shut up.
Oh, boy. DJ days are coming back, huh?
No, it's Rocky Horror, the Neon Movie Theaters, Chris. That was ours location. Sorry. Instead of hands on the hips, you put your hands on her tits. And they put your knees to the sides. Everybody's going group sex.
Oh my Lord.
That's Rocky Horror.
We didn't have that much fun when I was going to it.
Oh, I did. That's a podcast on its own.
Oh Lord. I think I'm at 4. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
2010. It's called The Crazies.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Timothy Olymphiant in that. My prepper side, my prepare for the worst, the Armageddon side was going 100% during that movie. I thought it was just kind of fresh how they did certain things, stuff you didn't expect. It was just a good movie, man. And it just reminds me of the end of summer and falling into, autumn and stuff like that. It was a good feeling. Did you guys see that one?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've seen that. In fact, it
I
was
haven't
a
seen
recommendation from years ago. You got to see this film.
It's good stuff. So you haven't seen it, Kathy?
Nope, not yet.
Okay.
Wonder
What's
if
the, what's
crazy.
the
Dreaming?
title again?
What's that?
What's the title again?
The Crazies?
The Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Was that a George Romero movie?
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
That was
Hmm.
Breck Eisner.
I think I've seen that, but it's been so long.
It's as obvious as may be a simple escape to say. I'm pretty sure it is available on
Us.
Amazon.
Mhm. Probably.
Pretty sure.
I'll hunt
Okay.
it. I
lot
want to
of
see it.
times
The Crazies.
A lot of times you find on Tubi.
I fit right in.
Oh, Tubi's awesome. There you go. I mean, they do very little ads.
Yeah.
It makes YouTube look like yeah.
No, I love
Oh.
Tubi.
I like Plex along with Tubi. If I can't find it on Tubi, I can usually find it on Plex. My horror.
I think everybody is that like here in this country. It doesn't matter where we are on the east, north, south, or west. Am I saying horror right? Because every time I say that,
I can't say it. I've never been able to say it right, Scott. Horror.
okay, here's a
Well,
word. That I'm
of
always,
course, I'm a damn hick, and so when I say it, it sounds like I'm calling someone a prostitute whore.
Horror.
Whore.
okay, here's Chris just recently moved into and I always have a tough time with this word, rural. I think I said it right, but I never know.
Rural.
Red
Yeah,
roll and like me trying to say aqua arena. You know, I still can't.
And the whole thing, he said the whole thing wrong. It's not Ocarina, it's Aqua Marina.
No, it's aqua arena.
There we go. Just say water.
No, it's aqua wiener.
Aqua Wiener.
Yes.
And no, Jake, you're right. Jay's wrong.
How can you argue with this?
Can't argue with the host now, man. That's
Water
what-
wieners.
Don't
Water wieners
watch
going on.
Hawaii, and you will see it, and you will see the banner in the background.
Oh,
Yeah.
Speaking
man.
Been there.
Speaking of aqua wieners, Jay,
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's your turn.
Okay. Well, now
Damn it! Now I want a hot dog.
this one.
Covered in-
Somebody-
Covered in water.
In
Nah.
this one,
Nah.
sunlight is a big deal because the characters can't go out in the sunlight or they'll burn up. And this was Catherine Bigelow, who later won a Best Picture for The Hurt Locker. But I don't know if this is her first film, but it's an early film. One of the best performances by Bill Paxton. Man, he turns it on in this movie. But anyway, Near Dark.
Oh yeah. God damn.
Yeah, Near Dark. But yeah, and like I say, Bill Paxton, he steals the show.
Oh man. And to think that they had to do another reboot of a twist on the man, that's a Bill Paxton movie.
Yeah. What
He's great
year,
in that.
Jay? Well, when I look it up, I want to try to find the right year. What year?
Yeah, you got to see Near Dark. It's awesome.
Yeah, you got to see Near Dark. I don't know, Kathy. It's early 80s.
Okay, good. That'll help me. No, that'll help me.
82, 83-ish, But anyway, Near Dark, it's vampires. But yeah, they like the typical vampire, they'll burn up in the sunlight. But anyway, Bill Paxton, and I've loved him in so many films.
I have too.
Yeah.
I have.
But his performance in Near Dark is be like, oh shit, he had a blast, and you can tell he was having the time of his life in this movie.
Still can't believe he's gone.
Yeah.
Too soon.
But Near Dark, and like I say, the director was Catherine Bigelow. She went on and she actually won, I think, Best Director and won Best Picture, Hurt Locker, in the mid 2000s or whatever. But anyway, this might have been her first film. Near Dark. But anyway, great vampire film, and like I say, sunlight is a big feature in this film. So speaking of summer, so
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to see Near Dark. Yeah.
Definitely. I still think of him in Weird Science because his small parts, he was hysterical in that.
Well, and of course, in Aliens,
He had some of the best lines in Aliens.
yeah, the game's over, man.
Game over, man. Game over.
Game over. Game over. Yeah, game over, man. Game over.
But of course, when they do another, like I said, when I was mentioning this Twister, I'm like, man, we just lost Bill Paxton. And as far as I'm concerned, that is a slap in the face to the man. I mean, but then again, shit, there's probably going to be a reboot on our podcast about 10 years from now, Jake.
But yeah, Kathy, if you're a fan of Bill Paxton, well, you got to see Near Dark.
Oh yeah, Bill and vampires. So look, it's right up my alley.
True Lies, he's awesome in that too, man.
Oh, I like him in True Lies.
Stand up and ask for buttermilk.
This is turning into a Bill Paxton. Why the God, he was
I'll
awesome.
tell you a real early thing that he appears in. Do y'all remember the song Fish Heads, Fish Heads,
roly poly fish shit? Yeah.
Eat them up, yum. Well,
God.
Bill Paxton's in the video for that. And but anyway, yeah, Barnes and Barnes, Fish Heads. But yeah, that's an early appearance by Bill Paxton in the Fish Heads video.
Oh, man. Yeah, way too early. Way too early. Just thinking of Bill Paxton. He's awesome.
Oh man. I'm thinking of True Lies now, just hardcore.
But
Got a little dick, it's pathetic.
It makes me think when Weird Science when he's a big fucking oh man.
Oh Lord.
That movie had some great lines in it.
Come on, Lisa. Give me the key, don't ya?
175 crisp bills in my hand, right? Or something like that.
Oh god.
You're stewed, but water, something.
Oh shit. Where are we right now? I forgot.
Your turn, Scott.
Oh man. Let's see. My number my number 4 is Bill Paxton and everything. Actually, no, it's this there's something about this film. Well, there's no doubt because it was in the same location that they shot E.T. And of course, we already talked about him directing, a certain film earlier. And of course, Steven Spielberg could not because he was able to produce it, but he was not allowed to direct it because of contracts. He was getting ready to direct it or whatever. But anyway, it's not about that shit. Poltergeist. Poltergeist to me always had a summer vibe to it. I don't know why, it just did. And of course, Poltergeist, it was definitely a creepy ass movie. And I just had this little thing in my head, Scott, they're probably going to reboot it. Did they already? I don't know, but give it time.
Yeah, they did. Well, no, they've already done it, and it's the most forgettable movie on the planet.
Don't waste your time.
A reboot.
I think it's because of the kids in it. It's just, of course, the true life stories of what's happened to the little girl with I can't remember if she had some stomach cancer, if it was a tumor.
Well, yeah, and was it the big sister was murdered?
Yeah, murdered her jealous boyfriend practically. Oh God. But just we all know that damn clown. Of course, Sean Clark has to do. I've got the original clown that was in that movie. Look at me. My ass just smells so pretty. I'm perfect in everything. But that clown as a kid, damn. I swear I want to say for a good year or two, I did check underneath my bed looking for that fucking clown. So bravo to Poltergeist and bravo thing. Oh, and of course, the little short lady. There was this at Denny's that sounded just like her, but god damn it. There's just
her name Zelda Rubinstein.
Yeah.
God, she had an ASMR voice about her too. Her and the woman she's talking to and shit, and the guy starts peeling his face.
Oh,
You know what?
Pulling his face. But let me ask you something, because I remember I saw this in the theater.
Of course, there's a
because I'm
swimming
old.
pool. So yeah, there's a lot of summer
Yeah, the
vibes.
Yeah, I
swimming
saw,
pool
I saw
one.
this in the theater when it
I
came
mean,
out. But let me ask you something, and ask
This
anyone that's a
house
fan
is
of. I'm a
clean.
big fan of Poltergeist. But what is your view on who directed the thing? Do you think Spielberg directed it or Toby
It's
Hooper?
Toby Hooper's credit as directing it.
But it looks like a Spielberg film.
That's because he produced it.
It
And it was
feels like
also-
a Spielberg.
it's-
It
it's-
feels like a Spielberg film.
Yeah.
You know, that opening
was also shot
sequence
the
when
same
when
location they
he's
shot
on the
E.T..
bicycle with the beers and all that. That just looks, that's straight out of a
And
Spielberg.
let me ask you this too, to help you answer your question. Who did the musical score for that?
That was Jerry Goldsmith.
Which was pretty much had also done some musicals for Steven Spielberg. So there's a lot of intertwining and all that. But you know, the way I see it, it was a great film regardless. You know, it was hell, just to this day, when you watch just the beginnings of it, where just the little girl sliding across the floor, the markings in the chairs. I'm like, you know, for a movie that was done back in it's they didn't use CGI for that shit. And it's bravo to that, you know?
They're
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poltergeist, you messed with our heads. You did a great job. And that when he's peeling the John Paxton was supposed to do that scene. You know he was supposed to.
Well, that movie and Gremlins were two of the films that prompted the PG-13 rating, because it was rated PG, Poltergeist.
Well,
But with the stuff
oh,
with the
boy.
face, peeling the face off, and the just skeletons coming out of the womb and
Yes.
all that.
It has to do with language too. You can only
Yeah,
use
the language, and parents threw a fit about that. They said it was too violent. It was too, and so that and it was that and Gremlins that kind of prompted the PG-13.
Until YouTube changes this. Here's something for everyone out there that does YouTube. Don't say the F word in the first 6 minutes. Chris and I ruin that every podcast. But if you don't say the F word in the first 6 minutes, YouTube won't recognize it as early because of their algorithm.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't fucking know. It's just something that some fucking asshole told me about. It might have been.
That is a hard part of my vocabulary. It will
I
never
know
go away.
I've broken. I break that rule pretty much every time.
But yeah, that's the thing. People that really get into doing the research, if you don't use the F bomb in the first 6 minutes, their algorithm won't recognize it. So you might have a better opportunity to lie about when you are available for ads. Like, was there any cussing? Wait a minute. I thought this was supposed to be made for adults, not kids. Why the hell should you care if I'm cuss or not?
YouTube
Well,
can go fuck themselves.
Yeah. I mean, hell,
Jay and I
they have
I always-
same videos anyways. What difference does it make?
Jay and I always start our podcast with, well, hey, how was your day? And from now on, I'll say, well, how was your fucking day, Jay? Damn. You know?
Go fuck
What's
yourself.
your day, motherfucker?
Oh my God. And Jake's sitting over here so quietly and so calm. Like,
Namaste. Go fuck yourself.
Oh,
It-
no, there
There
you
you
go.
go.
It
That's a
is not
good
my
one.
line. It's from Michael from GTA 5. Ned
Ah.
Luke.
But
Yes.
it stands up, don't it? It still stands strong.
Yes.
so YouTube, we apologize for our strong language.
Well, no, we're outside of the 6 minutes, so we can say fuck,
Yeah,
fuck,
we-
fuck,
Yeah.
fuck all we want, right?
Now we sound like South Park.
Oh boy.
So that was my favorite. Number 4 or 5. It was the fuck movie. I'm no, wait a minute. I'm not doing this. What am I saying? What was Poltergeist? I forget now.
God, when you
Yeah, I was Poltergeist, and that was a good one.
We
I'll
all
give you
loved it.
that. Oh yeah, we did. It
I don't know
it
why,
shaped
but
our
when-
psyche back in the day, didn't it?
when you were talking, I don't know, man. I don't know why, but Body Snatchers just snapped into my head.
Ooh.
Oh
When you
my
were talking about Poltergeist.
God.
That's not on the list. Damn it.
You know, another thing that popped in my head made me think of summer about that movie is when he's trying to make the thunderstorm go further away, where he's counting every time the thunder struck. You think of thunderstorms and stuff and all that in the summertime too. I'm just trying to make an excuse out of that number 4 bigger and shit right now for a summertime.
Like I
movie.
say, the month of May was the rainiest month we've had in Texas history.
We had a lot of rain here.
We had over 15 inches in this area in May, and just crazy. You just didn't think it was ever going to stop.
I'll be honest. Anytime I've had to go to Dallas, Texas, like, a delay on my way to the other part of the country, I'm like, how the fuck do people live around here? Because every time I get to Dallas, it's so hot. Reminds me of a summer movie.
Yeah, I'm 20 minutes out of Austin. And they every morning when the local news comes on, they go, okay, well, today it's hot. And I'm thinking, and
Well, no shit.
There's a heat advisory today. It's gonna be 109 or something like that, right? And I'm thinking, it's gonna be hot. Well, if I can do the weather, then if that's all y'all got to do is stay out there and give the. I can open the front door and tell you it's hot. Come on now.
Open the window.
And then they'll do a traffic report. I'm thinking.
And what's funny is for Ohio, these motherfuckers are wrong like every single fucking day.
Really?
And they still keep their job.
Oh yeah, it's no wonder we've got a mutual friend that lives in Oklahoma. So he thinks here in Ohio, when it's fall or winter, it's like freezing cold. I'm like, no, not really. So yeah, Chris mentioned our meteorologist here. They're fucking you guys up. Ohio meteorologists are just dumb, and see, us poor Ohioans, we need help.
It's pretty much like they just get a wet paper towel and they just throw it against the fucking wall and just pick a temperature. They're just like, yeah, that one looks good. It might rain.
Steve Carell was a better meteorologist than Anchorman than what we've got here.
It's fucking
Wait
awful.
a minute. David Lynch does good weather reports. Of course, it's for LA.
I was thinking David Lynch, the director, of Seven.
Yeah, that's
My
him.
My
He
favorite
likes to do
meteorologist.
weather reports.
My favorite meteorologist is that sneezing guy, Scott.
Oh
Easily.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh man.
And to think that was real too. If you ever watch Miss the Man, you'll see it every once in a while.
Who sneezes and fucking loses their balance? It's fucking great.
I mean, he literally goes off. It's like he's so hard. He's
He goes into the next fucking studio.
Damn it.
Oh Lord.
Fucking scroll fell off the table again.
Where are we at? Is it Jake now? Jake? Is it you,
Yeah.
buddy?
Yeah.
yeah.
Friday the 13th, the final chapter, which is part 4, and it's a fun one. It's a fuck fest. A lot of fornicating going on, and
Is that the sequel to Annie?
maybe it's just and the director Joseph Zito, he's an awesome director, but I heard he was kind of a dick to actress Judy Aronson, but that's here or there. But anyways, yeah, check it out.
I interviewed Ted White for that Dead Pit channel, and he was so cool because he was an old man. He used to be a stunt man for like John Wayne and shit. He worked way old school, old Hollywood, Ted White.
Oh,
And when I asked him about playing Jason, he goes, "Oh, I'd never seen any of those movies. I don't care to see any of those movies. But when I heard the money I was going to make, I said, okay, sign me up." And, he was real honest about it. He said, yeah, I those aren't my kind of movies, but he saw, he had a good paycheck coming. So, so he signed up, play Jason. Ted White.
Wow.
Okay, so I got one. I haven't had any real good ones, but that's what's so fun about them. 2015, The Final Girls.
Oh.
A bunch of teenagers, thank you, Jay knows it. A bunch of teenagers, they got to find something to do. So they go to the movies, right? So they're watching the movies, and all of a sudden, it's a spoof. Ended up being like a parody. It came out in 1980 of a fictitious slasher movie, and next thing you know, they're trapped in it. It's not this was 86 apparently, slasher movie with a machete welding Bill Murray. He plays the villain, and they all have to try to figure out. Okay, I've seen some slasher movies. How are we going to survive this? I
Apparently,
watched it a while back, and I thought this is hilariously good. But Bill Murray,
And what's the title again? Because I want to see that.
The Final Girls.
Final Girls.
Yeah, it actually is. It's actually gets good reviews. It's meant for me to see as well. I haven't seen it, and I've been hearing nothing but good things about it.
Yeah, it said. I was looking at a review of it because it's hard to talk about because it's like, wait a minute, are they watching it? No, they're in it now. Okay, but and then when I realized that's Bill Murray, it just killed me. I said, oh yeah, this is good. I kept watching it because I kept wanting to find out what else is going to happen. But anyway, yeah, the Final Girls, because it's the last ones, I guess.
I still think of Bill Murray and Caddyshack. I always will to my dying day.
Yes.
Bill Murray's so great.
It's just they used to be the big movie for liners. Not so much today, but it definitely was back then.
Oh yeah, love Caddyshack.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what I saw him in, and this was a few months ago, and it's a zombie movie called The Dead Don't Die.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good.
And it's actually pretty good. Now, Bill Murray's in that.
Yeah.
And it's a Jim Jarmusch film, which he's a very independent director. He made this movie called Down by Law. It's got Tom Waits, Roberto Benigni, and stuff. It influenced me a lot, Down by Law. I shot my first movie, Dawn, in black and white because he made that movie in black and white. But anyway, The Dead Don't Die. So if you look that up, it's streaming somewhere.
Yeah, that's how I watched it. It is good.
Yeah, zombie film, but anyway, Bill Murray's in it. So.
Okay, what? Chris? Is it Chris's turn?
That would be me, Mr. Benjamin here. Number 3. I'm surprised it hasn't come up yet. This one was big for me when I was in like high school. Changed the game on a lot of stuff to horror movies that I had watched up until then, which I was used to the old tropes, and you fall into the whole things. And this was the one that kind of turned it on its head. Would be the original Scream.
Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
No, Scream, man. It took all the tropes and it kind of turned it on its head, and it kind of reinvigorated the genre and kind of started its own little thing after that. But it's known very well that I'm a huge Neve Campbell fan. That's my girl. I love Neve.
I heard she could be a better president today.
Yeah, I think we could just toss any of these actors or actresses out, and they'd be a better president today.
Actually,
I'm just saying.
Neve Campbell's too hot and too smart to run for president. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scream original. That's my number 3. It's
That's a good one
for me.
Yeah, because most of the people get killed outside and they're hot. I didn't even think of that.
Well, it's the end of school. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
It's right in the middle of the whole thing. It's all
yeah.
the college, or not the college, but the high school parties going on. It's the whole. It's right there.
And help me out, Chris and Jake and Jake. I do not recall. Was there a certain location like Midwest or South where they were the town was supposed to be? I just don't remember.
I think Southern California.
Shit. That it wouldn't matter to them because I'm thinking, seasonal.
Yeah.
But Scream does have a summer vibe to it. There's no doubt about it. There's nothing about it that says fall or winter or spring. Damn, Chris, you make us all look stupid.
Nonsense.
Well, it made me look stupid.
Not me. I know where I fall in the stupidity scale, and I'm not quite there, but almost. I got a lot to learn. I'm a learner.
Well, the thing is, Kat, everything that you're reading off here, the one thing I find very fascinating, you are not afraid to share these movies that it's like a list of, okay, it might suck, or I have a feeling you haven't seen this. So it's interesting as hell.
Oh,
So
Oh
you
yeah.
gotta give yourself some major credit there.
I've
well, thank
easily
y'all.
I've easily picked up 3 ones that I'm gonna watch.
Well, yeah, and
You
but
mentioned.
particularly the one I'm most anxious to see is the Final Girls because Bill Murray's in it. So.
Yeah, I kind of dig, because like I said, we've all seen most all Stephen King's. I love the Halloweens, but I've seen them all. I mean, there's just a lot. But I like to try to find this obscure stuff that maybe I've seen once or twice, or once, and think I'd watch that again.
Mhm.
So thank you for that. That's very nice.
Oh, you're welcome. It's I mean, because you think of it outside of the box right now, when Jake, if he has supporters and supporters support, they might, ooh, what did she say? 'Cause like, okay, I'll say I picked all the obvious ones, and the rest of you are like, okay, what, huh? See,
No,
that's what I'm thinking of too.
but but we all like them. You know what I mean? We already know we like them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's fun about it. You just get to remember different parts of them.
Speaking of a man who obviously knows his stuff, Jay, what do you got for us now right now?
Well, don't ask me why this makes me think of summer, but I don't think I've ever seen this movie other than during the summer. And we just lost Donald Sutherland, one of the greatest actors ever to walk on in front of a camera. We just lost him. And one of the greatest endings to a horror film is him pointing at the camera. Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
I did not. What did he pass away?
Yeah, he just passed away.
Last week, I mean, just a
Last
few
week,
days.
yep.
Yeah, a few days
Oh,
ago.
bitch. I see. I think of him in Animal House, honestly, but damn.
Well, yeah, so many films, and of course, MASH, and there's so many films that he was great in. But anyway,
Somebody's
the
definitely
ending
somebody's
to
bad.
the ending to Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but yeah, he's pointing at the.
Oh, you know what I loved him in?
Wow.
It's not a horror movie, but he was in it with a cast of great names. Were they Space Cowboys? Love that movie.
Yeah,
yes, great movie.
Oh, he was awesome for that.
And
I
he
can't
cheated
believe
on that eye test because he couldn't see nothing.
Yeah, but you know what? My eyesight
Dang.
sucks, and I have to do a DOT physical every year. So I've done the
Oh.
same. I've learned that from him in that film. I'm gonna be like, okay, try to memorize it. Sure shit. As soon as I go like that, I'm like, damn, Donald Pleasance was good in this movie because I can't remember it.
But anyway,
Yeah,
Leonard Nimoy,
Not
Jeff
Donald Pleasance, Donald Sutherland.
Goldblum.
My bad.
Yeah,
Now
Leonard
my-
Nimoy, Jeff Goldblum, and of course Donald Sutherland. And Veronica Cartwright from Alien, she's in it. But anyway, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, great film.
Now
A
my
great-
mind. Shit, sorry.
When remakes are done right, are done well.
Yeah.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Great
Now my
choice.
mind is going Kiefer Sutherland right now. God.
Yeah.
bless.
I went there automatically there myself too.
That was
Lost
in
Boys? Oh,
Lost
God.
Boys,
Flatliners.
Stand by Me.
Damn.
Grease.
I must commend this. This entire episode, you've kept that going. I must commend
way
this.
to go.
That must be that's difficult.
A word that I've heard. Oh shit. Where are we at? Man, Donald. Damn. I did not know that.
Man.
Yeah, Martin Mull just passed too.
Yes, I
didn't know
Mm.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I seen that. I think it was last night.
It was, I think it was, you're right, yesterday, I think, Scott, he passed.
Stop it, people. See, like 2017, we were going through that with musical artists. I was like, stop. Prince, David Bowie, Tom Petty. It just like, oh my God, you guys have to stop this shit. It was
Prince, that took me to my knees. I'm sorry, but they talk about when JFK got shot and it really affected a lot of people. That's what happened when Prince died for me.
Yeah,
There's-
that's her boy. Well, I love Prince
I-
too.
I
Kat-
mourn.
Kat got
Fun.
that. She saw him alive twice.
You'll
Went out
find
and got the tattoo, you know.
no Prince hate here. Prince was a
Thank
musical
you.
genius.
Yeah. Well, it really got me. And my son-in-law went and bought me the prettiest purple tulips. He said, I understand you're hurting. I said, I really am. He said, I know you are. I hear you cried. I said, yeah. But anyway.
You,
But I wish we could all live forever. You
trust
know?
me, you don't have to. I mean, you have your, yeah, I'm trying my best to. Gee, if you don't mind, I'm going to get to a number right now because
Yes, please.
okay. Yeah, because yeah. Okay. Speaking of death,
All right.
Jake, you stole my thunder, man. You stole my thunder. No, I'm not going to say Grease 2 because it did happen in a cabin again. The one. It did happen in part 2. And I had to go with part 2 because Jason with that sackhead in Friday the 13th part 2 is so summerish to me. And that's probably my favorite Friday the 13th film. So I had to pick which one. Yeah, I went with part 2 because I love part 3 as well, too, out of the 2.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, Friday the 13th, we all know that. That's a summer. I mean, even when you hear choo, 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 summer, summer, summer. I mean, come on.
Well, they take place. Most of them take place at a summer camp.
And the lake's never frozen.
Yeah.
So sorry I had to bring up another sad moment of a passing, but you know, in a violent nature, it so may be. So that would be my number 2. Not a violent nature, but Friday the 13th part douche. Or that was number 3. My bad. My bad.
What number are we at here?
That was my number 3 because I'm thinking part 2, but that was my
okay.
number 3.
Like I say, okay,
Yeah.
well, it's 9:30 here, and I'm old, so I got to go to bed for 2 minutes later.
Oh crap.
It is. It's like 3:30 here. And Biden economics. I forget what time. I forget how to read the clock.
We don't need a job. We got Biden economics.
That's right.
There you go.
Right.
Well, I'm down to my last 2, so
Yeah, it's about right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, Jake.
Jake, right?
Yeah.
yeah, Jake, yeah. You're up, Jake.
Get us
Yeah.
going, fearless leader.
Sleepaway Camp 2, Unhappy Campers, and
Yeah.
classic. And
I always thought that poster was so cheesy, but it was great at the same time.
I wanted to
Yeah.
catch up. I'm totally unrelated, but did you get your costume together for? Or were you going to do that at the Comic-Con?
I thank you. I'm still working on how to put it together. You know,
Okay, cool.
What's it going to be, Jake?
a spoof of the cover
See that?
of this cover.
Okay.
Oh, that'll be good. I want to see. I want to see. So take a picture.
I will.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
With Bruce Springsteen's sister.
and this chick appears nowhere in the movie. It's just some random chick there.
Oh, by the way, Jake, that buzz haircut that you claimed to have gotten, your hair grows quick, man.
Thank you.
Damn.
I take that as a compliment.
It should. I'm just jealous because I don't have it anymore. So,
Hey, Scott, that the on you it looks good, so it works for you.
hair, yeah, it did look better on me back in 1980.
The Steve Wilkos look works for you, boss.
Jake, you're too kind. You're too kind. Thank you for trying to help me feel better about myself. But that being said, good call on Sleepaway Camp number 2. Good luck with the costume. The good thing of it is you're not gonna. People are gonna. Wait a minute. Is he's trying to? You can get him back. Say, no, it's not that Jason Voorhees. He's a Jason Voorhees, a gay man. I'm not a gay man. So, Kathy, are you done? Are you
You ready?
done
No,
about
I'm not.
you,
Oh no, I'm not done.
We're
I'm
ready.
gonna bring one. I'm gonna bring one
Blow our
home.
minds away.
I was trying to set you up to say, no, I got to do my number 2. Damn it.
No, I only had 2 left. Okay. Listen, I did that before we got on. Now listen. I know you've all heard of Masters of Horror. Dario Argento
Mhm.
pelts with meatloaf. So it
Lord, have I seen that?
pelts. Yeah. It's called Meatloaf and John Saxon.
I think I have seen that.
Yeah, yeah. So the premise of it is so good it's scary, it says one of the reviews. Basically, Meatloaf a Day stars as Jake Feldman, a short-tempered furrier struggling to build a small-time business while being tormented by the obsession of a sexy stripper. But when a sadistic backwoodsman trapper, John Saxon of Nightmare on Elm Street and Argento's Tenebrae kills a strange group of pet raccoons. These raccoons' coats can bring fortunes forever. So their fur is pretty much priceless. Okay, but one thing about these pelts, everybody who comes in contact with them, because they're cursed, is soon driven to unspeakable acts of self-mutilation and extreme violence.
That is,
it's
man.
good and sick.
You know, I now that I think about it, as you're reading that off there, I think I've only seen part of it, because as soon as the poster, or the cover, well, yeah, I just remember seeing it because it was around the same time I seen something else with Meatloaf.
Okay, what? I'm trying to see when it was.
I mean, since you brought it up, have you guys seen Tenebra?
Tenebra.
No.
Oh my Lord.
No, I've read. I was actually reading some stuff about. Yeah. I hear it's. Does it have like a fucked up ending or something like that? Or am I thinking something?
Yeah, the whole thing's fucked up, man. But
What about Suspiria opera?
Mhm.
No.
No.
And Jennifer with one N. Those are also.
Yeah, I have not seen that, but I know what you're
Those
talking.
are Argentos as well.
Mhm.
It is based on a short story by F. Paul Wilson, which I never heard of and don't really care, but I thought, well, that's quite interesting.
Ow.
Tenebra, if you guys could watch it, man, it was good. It was good. Thank you for bringing that up. God damn, I forgot all about that movie.
Speaking of seeing something, Chris, have you watched Better Off Dead yet?
No.
Sorry.
No.
How dare you?
Gonna have to watch that, apparently.
I sent it to you. That's why I was asking.
No. I'm thinking of something totally unrelated. Yes. John Cusack. Yes. Good. Go. Yeah, I'm all over the place right now. Yes, I watched that. Yes.
So now you okay. Has anybody here seen Better Off Dead?
I think it's been forever since I've seen it, though. I have.
Yeah, I don't know.
I may have, but I can't remember, so I must say no.
It's a great. It's one of these 80s movies that for some reason now it's not really mentioned a lot, but back in the day, it was popular. I can't. If anybody loves fun 80s movies, I can't recommend it highly enough. It's just
that's been my jam lately, watching some of these 80s movies that everybody else knows.
I want my $2.
Isn't John Cusack in that?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep. Yeah, I
And
apologize. I was thinking of a horror movie that did not even hit my radar when you said that.
Yeah, I have seen it. Like I say, it's been forever. But yeah, John Cusack. I remember that. Remember John Cusack?
that beautiful black 69 Camaro in it, and the actress that plays the French exchange student. Oh God, love that movie. Okay, it's not even, it's a summertime. No, shut up, Scott. It's not, because they're skiing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh Lord.
Ah.
I'm next, right?
Yeah, better off dead.
Number 2. It's already been mentioned. There's nothing I can say about it. It's fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's my number 2. It's just, we're opposite ends of the spectrum there, Jay, because I started at the bottom, but we're meeting in the middle, buddy. It's quintessential fucking summer. It's just quintessential fucking horror. It's when he grabbed that door and he slammed it shut. That's one of the greatest fucking scenes, man. It's iconic.
And probably such a simple effect, but so effective when he hangs her on that hook.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Although she didn't like it.
It's guerrilla.
Not good
I think we've
foreplay.
talked about
But
it,
I
Scott.
did say,
It's guerrilla
you know,
filmmaking. It's
that's
just
where you feel that shit. You see that, and you feel it. You know, him hanging her on that hook is just like, ugh.
Well, somebody bought the house that it was filmed in,
Mhm.
and they completely
It's a kid
kept
home.
us.
It's a restaurant, isn't it?
I'm almost there. Let me bring it home, y'all. I'm slow. Okay, so, well, I talk slow. They kept the original structure. They gutted it, rebuilt it as it originally was in the movie. And it's now setting on a little resort outside Austin. And beautiful landscaping. You can sit outside or you can go inside and eat. And it's a real nice restaurant now. Yeah.
I
It's
saw
cool.
this. You can go there and eat, and yes, I
Yeah.
saw that.
Yeah.
You can watch the film when they do. Oh yeah, they do the screenings or whatever they used to be. I'm sure you know this as well. I'm just adding on to what you're talking about there. That obviously when Gunnar Hansen was alive, when they would have like reunions, they would have right there at that particular location, like a projector screen where people watch that text tape. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing how they were able to take that kid house, just like the Myers house was a kid house. So they were able to transport it to one location. That was obviously a bigger move though, but
Yeah.
so cool that those two houses have been reserved and still a part of physically still here.
Yeah.
On my
Yeah.
bucket list
Well,
to visit that place.
they had, they had gated and gated and gated that dirt road that goes down to it.
Have you
There's so
seen
many people were trying to pilfer wood from it. They were trying to take planks and anything for a souvenir they could get out of it. So it was on the morning news. They said, listen, that's been solved. They've moved it. It's pulling it, showed them pulling it off the land. It's, and for a while, till the restaurant was completely built and up and going, it was in a undisclosed location, of course. These
Big
people
Hill
like,
Road? Yeah, Big Hill Road was the name of it, where it was originally located.
yeah,
Now I guess it's like everything else, we all go through it as we get older. You go down certain memory roads of certain locations, like, damn, they tore down that building. Now there's something else there.
yeah.
Like condos or something there now, something. But yeah,
Probably a Walmart.
probably, or an Amazon facility.
Or a Dollar General. Come on now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Or
They're
Jake's
on the corner.
storage unit.
What are you keeping in there, Jake?
Horror films.
Bet you got them freezers with the big locks, don't you?
I might have a few.
Poor Jay, he's sitting there, he's tired. He's like, all right, I'm gonna get my other ones out of the way.
I'll get through this.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Is it my turn?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, this one definitely makes me think of summer whenever I see this. You got a little boy, little kid.
I knew
And
it, Grease.
yeah. And he's chasing a kite that's flying in the air. The family's playing with the kite, and they get distracted, and the kid is chasing the kite, and he runs out onto the road, and here comes a diesel and plows the kid down. And
Oh shit.
Pet Cemetery.
I cannot watch it. I could
And
not.
that's
I
something that
couldn't watch
Kathy
it.
says she can't watch it because of that, because of the kid getting.
Well, I had kids now, grandkids, Jack. I could not watch that. I can't do it. I just can't
First, I
do
was
it.
thinking Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I saw it in the
Yeah.
theater when it came out. Because I'm a huge Stephen King fan, so I had already read the book before I saw the movie, and was just wondering how the fuck are they going to do this? How are they going to portray what's in the book? You know,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, what could be more horrible, particularly for a parent to endure, than the loss of their child, and particularly that way, you know, to get mowed down by this diesel truck, you know, and but yeah, great, very well done, and the kid is Nico Hughes, and we interviewed him at in Dallas at a festival there when he was, you know, like in his 20s, you know. But that's the little boy, Nico Hughes. But anyway, Pet Cemetery, of course, Stephen King, and Mary Lambert directed. Woman, I think it's good that a woman directed this. It has a woman's touch, you know. It's good that something as horrible as a child being killed, that, you know, she put a touch to it that it's still frightening, it's still scary, still effective and creepy.
It's
But
the reanimation stuff that gets to me. You gonna bring them back? They're dead. You go no.
and what's the sister's name? Is it Zelda? What's the sister? The you know, you have flashbacks of this sister.
Zelda. Yeah.
Zelda? Is that
Yeah.
it? Zelda? There's some people that think that's like, there's one guy that reviews movies on YouTube. I really like his stuff. I forget what his name is. Is that Chris Stuckman? Is it Chris Stuckman? Anyway, he said the two most frightening things that he's ever seen in films is Pennywise the Clown, Tim Curry, and Zelda in Pet Cemetery. And it's a man actually that's portraying Zelda, you know, in the movie, but it's a makeup, and she's got this spinal condition that's kept her bedridden. But just, oh my God, the makeup on that, you know, it's just amazing, you know, and very frightening and creepy. But yeah, I think of it as a summer film, and one of the most effective, you know, just taking a subject as horrifying as a child being killed, and make him very creepy, very well directed movie. And so anyway, yeah, Pet Cemetery.
That's the only movie I've never been able to watch. I just can't do it. I watched the trailer on it and I'm like, yep, nope.
See,
And a
that's
absolutely
Exorcist for me.
absolutely despicable remake. They remade it, and they replaced the boy with the sister now, and the sister is the one that gets killed in the remake. I hate the remake, but and yeah, and what else was I going to say about this? Hang on, I had another.
It's sick and demented, and not in a fun way.
Oh,
But anyway, yeah, just great.
Yeah, I get a little harsh sometimes. I can't help it.
Okay.
There's a road not too far from where I live. In fact, throughout the years, there's a pet cemetery that they closed it down. But the thing of it is, you have to know where it's at to get to it, and it's off of a kind of a windy, secluded area. But yet, so many people go up and down this road, and once you know where it's at, you go back there and you think, "Oh my God, this could have been the perfect location to film for them to film that movie," because this cemetery was Up on hills, surrounded by trees, just your typical, this looks like it's perfect for a horror film, and it was a pet cemetery. Right there in Northridge. Well, I'm saying as if I live around here, but yeah. Right
Also,
on.
a great performance by Fred Gwynn, Herman Munster.
Yeah.
Great performance by him in Pet Cemetery.
That's another reason why I wouldn't want to revisit the reboot on, because he's obviously not in it. So
No, it's what is it? Who plays it?
who cares?
John Lithgow.
John Lithgow, yeah, John Lithgow.
I'm just with reboots.
And I love John Lithgow. I love
I'm the
John
same
Lithgow.
way. Same way. Can't handle reboot, Scott. That it and Jay's a good gauge for me if there's a reboot of some, but I go to the Dead Pit guys. I'll ask CK or Uncle Bill, what about, should I watch this? And they go, don't watch Spell in the Grave 2. I said, well, okay. But what about, and I'll bring up another title, and they'll say, yay or nay. And I really value their opinion, along with Jay. And now I got Jake in my life. I can say, okay, Jake, what about this? Because I'm still watching a bunch of this stuff, Yeah. I raised kids, got on up, retired. Now it's my time to catch up on what y'all have enjoyed for years,
Yeah. Sadly, these reboots, they're about as excited to say, well, guess what? I got to go take a shit again. I mean, that's what reboots
Yeah.
I mean, every once in a while you get a winner, right? Like, ooh, that was a good one. Taking a shit again. But most of the time it's like, don't waste your time. Just like I asked Jake not too long ago, making another movie that's been a reboot. I'm like, so have you seen the trailer for the Strangers Chapter 1? Jake, if I remember correctly, you didn't see it, correct? The trailer for, and I said, so don't waste your time because you've already seen it, because they screw up. They pretty much tell you everything that was in the original one and the best lines from the original. I'm like, dear Lord, Hollywood is this fucking desperate this day and age to throw away money like that.
Take me back to the 80s and I'll watch my horror and catch up.
And that was 2006 when the original one was released. So it's like, well, we got to hurry up and do it.
9, I think.
No, I get my 6s and 9s messed up, especially when I'm looking at it upside down. Yeah, you may be right. Still, I mean, it's just, yeah. In fact, I think it's already available to buy on iTunes or whatever.
Yeah, I think they fast tracked that.
Yeah.
You're correct. That and the new Mad Max. I think they fast tracked both of them for Furiosa, I think.
Yeah. Mel Gibson's Mad Max, or not Mad Max, but
sometimes that is better.
Mel Gibson, man, come on. Love me some Mel Gibson, man.
To me, I always thought he would have been an excellent Wolverine. My favorite. There you go, Jake. This is my number 2. I've got 4 other ones for Mr. Brown. No, actually, we've already talked about these. In fact, Jay, when you mentioned them earlier, I was like, well, this is how these lists go. Because as a child, I was afraid of the water, period. Bathtubs, the game that my mom bought me from Christmas, because the fucking boat's just not big enough. You hardly seen, what was the name that Steven Spielberg actually called the shark? Bruce. And then, of course, when I was real little, my mom moved us out to LA because her best friend lived out there. And we went on the Universal Studio Tour. And of course, Frankenstein gets on that that train that you're on. And of course, the legendary where you go by, and here comes the mechanical Bruce. And I'm already petrified of that movie. So, of course, I'm just, my mom, I'm going to have a long talk with her. She really fucked me up as a kid. She can't stand horror movies, but yet she took me to see all these great ones at drive-ins.
She did a good job.
It's like I got The Omen and The Jaws pretty much at the same time. But it's the funny thing is, Chris, you mentioned The Exorcist. That was the one movie. Mom, please let me watch it. And she went to go see it in the theater. She's it's like she described what everybody else did back in the day. It messed her up, and I begged and slept with her for like a month after I seen The Exorcist. But yeah, Jaws was my number 2. And as far as I'm concerned, you can go ahead and make all these other, shark movies. You're wasting your time because it's just not as good as Jaws.
Well,
And
like I say, it's my favorite movie.
especially when, oh God,
Yeah, there are, of course, there are movies that are better, greater, better directed, better acted, better whatever. But there's no movie that I enjoy watching more than Jaws.
and what did we
And
talk about this in this podcast already? Cinema of the mind. That's what
yeah,
Jaws did to us.
well, and that was the thing is that Bruce, the mechanical shark, most of the time didn't work. So
Yeah.
Spielberg had to think of a way where you see the shark, even though you're not seeing the shark.
Yeah.
And so you got the barrels going through the water. But you think you're seeing that shark the whole time when you're not even seeing the damn thing.
And John Williams scored the hell out of it to it
Yeah,
scared us
John
so well.
Williams.
Yeah, he did.
And that's the thing is, that those opening notes, everybody, no matter what age they are, know what that is. Knows that theme.
The audio from the beginning where the girl's swimming out there in the ocean and just her slinging her around like in The Exorcist. You're like,
Yeah.
The way they captured that audio is like, when a stranger calls, the way that audio is captured, like,
Yeah.
have you checked the children? I mean, it's just that creepy
And
voice. And her
one of the greatest
man, it fucked me up
scenes,
as a kid.
one of the greatest scenes ever committed to film is the Indianapolis speech. I could watch it every day. That scene.
Was that when Joe Biden was in Indianapolis?
No, that was Hunter, his son.
I doubt that Hunter could find the stage.
He's too big.
Unless you left a trail of crack crumbs.
Yeah, some say you gotta give him a little nose candy, maybe he can.
I mean,
Yikes.
Hunter's so messed up. It's like, dude, crack's old school. No one does that
Well-
shit anymore. Oh, poor Biden. No, not poor Biden, because it's about us, you old son of a bitch. But power. He's got to have that power.
And he,
As long as he's got plenty of depends, he'll be all right.
I hear he's going to be in the next Pet Cemetery.
Yeah.
They brought his ass back.
Those expressions alone, I'd say this is what's so pathetic. It was a comedy watching it. Those expressions where I'm like, I should be laughing at this because the whole world's watching this right now, but yet we're watching this like Monday morning quarterback, and there's looks at him like, I'm like, oh dear Lord, this is deer in the headlights. It's gone wrong.
I haven't watched it, but I've got to watch it now.
I hate to say
awful.
it's hysterical. I mean, they talk about, well, Trump, he was so calm, cool. He didn't have to do it. If you were in Trump's shoes, you couldn't help it. Him doing the same thing. Like, you could tell in his mind's like, what the fuck
Are
is he
you
talking
okay?
about? Yeah.
It was you're in charge of the nuclear codes? Holy shit.
It's just too bad this wasn't like fictional, because
Well,
I
want to watch it for comic relief.
Oh yeah, I'll just go to YouTube. You'll find it all. And the thing of it is, it doesn't even have to be edited to make look funny, because in all seriousness, Biden, I'll tell you what, they always talked about what drugs is he taking to keep up. The drugs they actually gave him after he's been over, studying to, go up against Trump, he must have been on Valium or something, because he was just like, you really couldn't understand what the fuck he was saying sometimes. He was almost drooling. And it was just like,
it's bad when your own party, the Democratic Party, doesn't want to take credit for your.
Yeah. And when CNN is like,
that's
not
bad
about it, that ought to tell you something.
Well, it's even worse that there's several Democrats are saying he should bow out. He shouldn't run. He should,
exactly.
He shouldn't be the nominee.
But Jill, she doesn't want that.
We can't support him. That's bad. This is their guy.
Yeah. It's frightening.
But guys, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm going to have to bow out. But before I do, I'm going to give my last film. It's already been mentioned, but
The hills
Uh,
have eyes.
Yeah, hills
okay.
have eyes. You know, you definitely. I definitely think of summer when I think of the hills have eyes,
Oh
and
God, yeah.
it
Yeah.
almost like has been mentioned before, almost gives that Texas Chainsaw Massacre
Mm.
sort of feel, sort of vibe. It sort of just radiates uh, grimy heat and decay, and yeah, and but you're in an RV and you're traveling down the road and you're getting fucked with by cannibals and
Yeah.
uh so yeah, that's a very summer vibe. But anyway, the hills have eyes. And with that, I'm going to let you guys go. Jake, great show. Great to meet all you guys.
Thanks, thanks, Jay, for joining me, man.
Yes, sir. We'll have to do this again soon. This has been a good one.
Oh
You
yeah,
know, been a
absolutely.
long one, but a good one. But no, and good and really good topic and some good conversation. I really enjoyed this. So I see you guys soon. And
Nice meeting you, Jay.
yes, sir.
Nice
Remember,
meeting you, sir. You take
Grease
care.
is the word. Grease is the word.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Here I stay
And-
up till like 12:30, 1 o'clock, and my poor brother can't hang with us.
It's funny. I get up. Well, normally when Chris and I are busy Saturday nights, we're up till, well, I don't need to tell you, right, Chris? And so, of course, Sundays are a day I'm either trying to sleep something off or I'm fighting to get shit done. Well,
we have good Saturday nights, put it that way.
Yeah.
We're usually somewhere between 1:30 and 3:30. Usually
Yeah.
we'll finish up. We usually start around 7.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to jump on it and listen to y'all sometime.
but yeah,
Please do.
yeah,
Yeah, I will. I will follow you. Yeah.
it's
And
we
click the little bell so I get all notifications.
we
Yeah,
try.
don't forget that.
It's funny. I always tell everybody during during our little shows, I'll say, okay, please give us a thumbs up and don't forget to share.
I'm
And
I guess we're terrible at doing that. I don't know. Yeah,
No, we don't do that
Yeah.
often, do we?
I try to.
We need to
we
start
probably don't
doing that
need
shit.
to.
Yeah.
Well,
We're too-
probably got good following.
I think we're too worried about. I think we're too.
I think we're
worried.
too concentrated on the subject.
Yeah,
We
like
just-
what the fuck you drinking?
Yeah, by that point we're already fucking
Yeah,
3
if
sheets
you-
to the wind.
If you start, let's say we have supposedly a season 1 and season 2. So if you start watching the more recent ones, you'll start. Jake could tell you. Yeah, we start getting to what the fuck you drinking, and then I think about an hour later. Oh yeah, our subject matter. Subject matter could be about. Oh yeah, I got an unboxing that people want to see. They don't give a shit what we're drinking, but hey, we don't care. It's our podcast, and
Yeah.
we're drinking.
As long as we have fun.
That's right.
That's it. That's what I told Jay. I said, I don't have the knowledge to do a podcast with you. Oh, come on, sis, we'll have fun. And I said, well, okay, if you're up to it, we'll just have fun then.
That's
That's-
yeah.
It's what it's
'Cause
all
we-
about. So
Because my mind, it goes in 18 directions,
For Chris and I, it's a safe place to go to a bar because if you look carefully, if you'll notice carefully behind Chris, he literally does have a bar behind him. And mine's in another room, so I'll bring it in here. I actually actually it's Chris's old refrigerator over here. So really, it's like a podcast where you're hanging out at a bar. Hence,
Oh, okay,
it's the
cool.
man cave. We try to stick to subject matters, of course, but yeah.
But why? Why? It's your podcast.
There's sometimes, well, the last one we did, it was a healthy one because it stuck to our main subject matters.
Yeah.
The
I think it
fucking
was good one.
drinking and unboxings. Yeah. Yep.
Good one.
In fact, I was just getting notified on a couple ones, but I some people left some comments here recently. You might they're positive, Chris.
Well, that's why I stay off it. I stay on my other channel just because I don't want all the notifications because I feel like there's going to be a bunch of assholes.
Oh, these ones we're not popular enough to get that's sometimes I want to tell Morgan, don't worry about what you say because no one fucking watches us. Uh, but the last one, that one says your sponsor segment made me die laughing. You have some serious balls wearing that around town.
Mass and Gilbert.
That's just made simple. I'm glad to see you guys on camera together in person now. So, well, that means you weren't paying attention to the end of season 1. Damn it,
Motherfucker, we've been doing it for 2 years now. What are you talking about? Jesus Christ.
I think what they meant us being on the same. Well, let me make sure I read there. I'm glad to see you guys on camera together
In person now.
Yeah.
Well, we did the other mask on that was on screen together.
Yeah.
That was last year.
Jake, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's not good.
Chris and I, it's a habit for us. We're doing our podcast all of a sudden. I'm sorry, Jake.
Oh, no.
Yeah. No. Yeah, let's get back into the group.
Yeah.
Kathy, please,
I feel
ladies,
bad. I'm
ladies
sorry.
first.
I got,
Ladies
I
first.
got, I got my last one.
I'm so sorry.
It's another one of those fun ones that probably most people may never see. But I found it, and by golly, I thrifted it and brought it home. It hasn't even been open, so whoever
You
got it
thrifted.
before me, went to a thrift shop and found it. It's
Oh,
Greystone Park. Okay.
Like little girls in so many horror films these days.
And
I've
that's
not seen that.
a
It's
film by
Park.
it's by Sean Stone. Warning: trespassers will be executed. So, do you believe in ghosts? Okay, so basically, in October 2009, the filmmakers broke into this abandoned psychiatric hospital, okay, known as Greystone Park, infamous for its use of electroshock and lobotomies to treat the mental illness. According to urban legend, anyone who dared enter the haunted institution would go insane. Okay. Once inside, the filmmakers quickly discover they are not alone. Encountering escaped patients, ghosts, and demonic shadows, they descend into a terrifying realm of fear, paranoia, and madness. And will it happen to them? Will they all die? Will they get out? Are they go insane? I don't know. But I would not visit Greystone Park.
The sad thing of it is, from what you're reading there, it almost describes what the late night news tells us every day.
That's what it says this morning. The locations of Greystone Park. I'm like, well, okay.
You could Google it.
Damn.
I'm thinking, well, duh. Well, it's ours, so it's supposed to be pretty good. It's inspired by true events. So I don't know. I'd go in there.
Goddamn Manson family inspires so many spooky stories. Not even funny. I've never heard of that. That is definitely.
Listen, for a quarter, I'm going to check this.
A quarter? Hell,
Quarter.
I'd say if I found that, bought that for a quarter, watch it later and go, this is the worst movie I've ever seen, but I got it for a quarter. It was well worth it.
It's worth the money. You know what I'm saying? So I had to bring it home. I said,
you can't buy a movie for a quarter. You just can't. Not today.
Yeah.
Can't
Well,
say I've seen that. A quarter? Damn.
Don't let Biden know.
I won't. It'd be $15 tomorrow. But no, our little thrift store has it had a 39% off each item in the store because the 39th anniversary, right, of their business being open. So I said, well, look at him. Like I said, there may be a reason why nobody opened Greystone Park, but I figured, well, I'm definitely going to watch it. I'm going to watch it. Yeah, everybody has to do something stupid every now and then, and I'm going to watch it.
Very
good.
And that's my last one.
Right on.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if you guys know me at all. Scott, you've
Okay.
already kind of danced around the subject at all. I think you know where my number one's going to be.
Grease.
Huh?
Grease.
Fuck me. Come on now.
Damn it.
So,
Been trying to guess all night.
man, it's that kind of end of summer. It's the vacation period. It's the you get together with a group of friends and you say, let's go to a log cabin and stay for the
That
week.
one?
And fuck no, come on. God damn it. You know I love that fucking movie though.
This is on VHS. Sorry, good.
It's gonna be Strangers, the original.
Yeah.
It's gonna be it that movie. Seeing it in theaters, it was so fucking great. It was a good experience, man. I don't even like Liv Tyler that much, but I think she did a great job. Uh, man,
Scott Pillman, is that correct?
the guy,
Yeah.
yes, I think
Wow.
so. Think so. Yeah, he shot his buddy's head off.
Great movie.
He was I liked him in Underworld. Sorry.
It's just such a good fucking movie. I mean, these lists, if I can steer it towards that, it's always going to be that's going to be a high one for me always.
You know what, to add on to what Chris was saying right here, when you do a podcast with somebody and you start talking about a lot of things in your life, sometimes when you hit that fucking button or not, and you're still talking about things. When Jake contacted us about, hey, I've got this idea, I'd like to do this podcast. I'd like to have you and Chris, and of course, you with the other friends, about this list of 13 summer horror films. And I'm sitting on my chair. I'm like, oh, I know this one, this one, this one. And I was about ready to type in The Stranger. I'm like, nope, something tells me that's going to be Chris's, and I'm going to leave that to him to shine.
Yeah,
And
it's
I
hard.
shit you not. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to use The Strangers in this list because something tells me Chris is going to have it. And I don't want to say The Strangers right before he does. Because like I stated, we've done these podcasts. We've talked about The Strangers before. And you could tell if you listen or watch that podcast, Chris he paints a good picture about why he likes that movie. So I'm like, nope, don't put that on your list. Don't take that away from Chris.
And that's how I felt about Texas. But I had to do it. I had to put it at number 2. I mean, I know how much you love Texas Chainsaw.
So you know what my number one is then?
Oh, I do. I had to do it though.
Because when I seen Jay bring up the Texas Chainsaw Massacre or talked about that, I'm like, God damn it. Why does he have to fucking do that film? I got Chainsaw Massacre's bass back there behind me and all that. Yeah. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, in all honesty, as I was growing up as a kid, seeing Halloween when I did, seeing this when I did, I was always like, what is my favorite between the two? And there was times Texas was because of how the movie was shot. Daniel Pearl, who is a cinema photographer, was always my kind of hero when it came to cinematographers. He's the man who's responsible for doing the cinematography for Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And Jake, Chris, you probably very well know that when they did the remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, was a cinematographer for that one, Daniel Pearl. Daniel Pearl has also done a lot of grunge, like MTV videos at one time, but the guy just has this incredible eye that always I thought was so fascinating. Like over at Chris's house not too long ago, we're trying to do these B-rolls over at his place. And I'm always thinking of Daniel Pearl, how he shoots Texas Chainsaw at these wide open range and all that. And it's so simple, but it's so awesome at the same time. So when we think about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, even though it was their budget and they kind of wanted that guerrilla documentary style, Daniel Pearl knew exactly what he was wanting to go for. I'm sure as shit. Boom. I really honestly think if Daniel Pearl wasn't the cinematographer for Texas Chainsaw Massacre and had to deal, I mean, all the other actors and other people that were involved. So yeah, they had to deal with that summer heat. We've all heard the horror stories. Shit, if you go watch this goddamn thing with the featurettes, it tells you how much shit they went through, just like this one here.
Yeah.
It's
Pearl
like
had
it's like
Sick.
Dean Cundy. You can't have yeah. I understand exactly what you're saying. You
so
wouldn't have Halloween without Dean
yeah,
Cundy.
exactly. And the cameras back then were much heavier because they were dealing with film. Today it's all digital, which trust me, I love the cameras today. They're fucking amazing. But the cameras, okay, you think of a computer, how much heat your computer right now is probably pretty hot because if you're using your computer for a screen or monitor, got little fans going, your camera's getting hot. The Lord knows our lights are getting hot. But those cameras back then, dear Lord, they were hot and they were heavy. So you think about, you live in Texas with that heat, what he was dealing, he had it right next to his face all the time. I mean, I was just trying to think of another approach to Texas Chainsaw Massacre because you could hit it on so many levels. You talked about the house and everything else, where it's at now, the location, but the cast. But I thought, you know what? I always admired Daniel Pearl, so why don't I bring him up in this concept as, one of the many reasons why I loved the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And as we all know, there was probably, right now I have probably an ounce of coffee in this cup right now. That was probably about how much blood was used in that movie.
Didn't need it.
And that shot where she's getting up off the swing and she's walking up to the house, and you got that camera track where Daniel's holding that camera laying down. Could you imagine holding that thing as heavy as it was to try to keep it as still as she's walking up to those steps? Damn. See, those are the heroes in those movies, are those cameramen, camera people, I should say.
Yeah, they don't get enough credit.
Yep. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre, by the way, it's Texas Chain Separate Saw Massacre. That was my number one.
What's yours, Jake?
Well, Sleepaway Camp. It's a classic.
Never heard
Thank you. I was trying to stay. Jay said, I think I'm more. I said, no, that's Jake. Let Jake do Sleepaway Camp.
It's just, yeah. I love the ending. I say.
To me, I'd love to have a Pretty Woman mask just look like that, but good luck, right?
Oh, yes, that'd be cool.
Yeah, and that she actually did go through a lot of hell through that scene with the hook, because the harness that she was actually wearing, it actually went up through her crotch. So when Gunner had to put her up and put it on that, basically like a hook, a pocket, pulled her crotch up. So she's like, oh God. So that reaction was real.
Well, it helped her acting.
Yeah. It's like when Gunner comes, they didn't see Gunnar Hansen. So when you talk about the door, none of them had seen him yet. So when you're getting that first reaction, like, oh shit, that they caught, that's brilliant. Don't let them see the bad guy yet. We'll wait till we start hit recording. So just the guy that was what was his name? He had the real curly hair and
Kirk, or
I think it is Kirk. When he first sees him, they talk about there on the featurettes. It scared the shit out of him because he hadn't seen him yet. And I'm like, that's brilliant. So simple. Oh, and originally when the first things that you see with the roadkill, I guess it was what was it, Amaretta that they showed? That was originally a dog.
Oh.
Yeah, there was an actual dog that was dead on the road, and so they recorded it, and even they decided this is a little bit too sensitive, so they decided not to.
I'm glad.
Yeah,
Me too.
because what inspired it was, of course, you're obviously familiar with Texas, with the slaughterhouses and all that. I've driven through Texas a couple times.
Yeah.
And they did see a dead horse, so that kind of inspired. So they're like, "Oh my God, there's a dog!" I'm like, no, we can't do this. So the man who was responsible for the special effects, who did the masks and everything else, he actually basically they took I think it was an Amaretta. basically they just stuffed it. So it was real, but it wasn't, it was already dead. So
Yeah.
Oh, question for y'all. Franklin. Some people say he's the most annoying character in horror. I think they're wrong. I think Franklin is understandably. You understand why he'd be a little uh, annoying to people, but I think there's far worse people. What do you guys think? Is Franklin annoying or is he?
well,
I think Tina is my answer.
From Halloween 5.
Yes.
Okay.
Bum-ba-da-ba-da, bum-ba-da. That has to be Tina for me. Yeah.
Frank, I don't, because it's funny watching the featurettes. Even he knew, or at the cons when he's up on a panel, and he was asked that question. He said, "But I know how annoying I was," because he was actually staying character the whole time, and he knew that he was so annoying. But the real life person, as you get to know him, before sadly he has passed away, you just don't feel annoyed. But Tina, and she's all right as a person, but I just want to. Would you please, Michael? Why did you kill her first? You
I'm
had.
never sensible if I can help it.
And we've even covered that. Like by the end of it, when she was sticking up for Jamie, like it was just like, she was trying to get the kids to safety. We've even talked about that. Like I felt bad, like when she was telling them to run and stuff like that. But still, when she was alive, probably the most annoying character to me, period,
Yeah.
in horror.
I mean, we already have a scene where somehow, we have the scissor scene. Come on. She didn't. How could you die from getting stabbed in the shoulder from scissors right here?
Rachel didn't die. Not
So,
in my head.
why didn't he kill Tina with the scissors instead? She could have been a guest. She spent over that night. She's taking a shower. She comes out, and then Rachel's out. See, problem solved. And Halloween 5 would have been so much. You know what? I just realized, Kathy, you haven't seen Halloween 5 yet, have you?
Uh-uh.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, wow.
Well, no, it's okay. It's okay. You can't spoil anything for me. You tell me everything, every detail of the movie. You still can't spoil it. Oh, look at that.
They should have kept Michael in that mask or wrapping.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Scene 4.
Mm.
Because come on, think about it. Right now, does it look like a puppet?
No.
yeah. It does to me.
Michael Myers as a puppet would have been the
When you
best.
do this, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Michael Myers as a puppet would have been the best thing for that franchise. I mean, come on, think about it. You got Michael going after people, because that's how puppets walk.
Oh, you
And their
know what?
arms have the strings.
I can't do it. I can't go down this road because if we didn't have 4 and 5, we wouldn't have had 6. So
Michael's a faggot.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just trying to help. I'm just trying to help Jake on his podcast.
Oh no.
Thank you.
Yeah, Michael. I've always said it. I've always believed that he's the gayest one out of all the serial killers.
No, fuck me.
Kathy
Well,
said,
just
Should I
put that
watch
in your
this?
title.
Should I watch these Halloween movies? I've heard so many different things, but now Scott's saying he's gay.
Oh, you know, I gotta go watch them all now.
They always say there's one gay out of 4 or 5 of them. So I don't know. Because the way he carried his knife, you'll see it, Kathy. He carries that knife in a very flamboyant way. Yeah.
I can't. I'm gonna have to get off here.
These kids right now, Kathy, they're like, I can't take it.
Well, it is. Listen, it is Pride Week, so let's give him some props.
The way I see it,
Oh, right on.
the way I see it, that son of a bitch was all about trick or treating and fucking with people. Well, it's about time people start fucking with Michael.
Oh, Lord.
I've dealt with that son of a bitch for so many years, pissing me off. So I'm going to get him back. He's the queer of all killers. This is what happens, Chris, when you get
I-
older. You just don't give a shit anymore.
I learned something every podcast. See,
I need you to have some beer. I don't know about the sober version.
It's Michelle Myers.
Michelle, my belle.
I mean, think about that. Everybody's so concerned about his features on his mask. See, it's starting to make sense now. You got to have that perfect white feature with the shit. I love fucking with people, especially Michelle Myers.
Oh, Chris, by the way, the George P. Wilbur signature series is badass. That's the best one, I think.
Thanks, man. I do love that mask. It's been in my head for 5 years now, easily, maybe more. But I could never pull the trigger on it because the initial price to get that mask made. But we're here now. Had to sell a house to get that mask, but we're all good.
And eventually you'll probably wonder, where's Chris's mom at? Did he sell her too?
How dare you?
Hey, I'm just trying to help Jennifer out. Like, I raised that boy. I showed him Halloween. So if he wants that mask, all right.
Get her done.
That's right. So
well, I'm gonna let you guys have it, man. I gotta do some insulin shuffling here in a minute. So I'm gonna I've enjoyed it. Nice meeting you guys too. Jake, thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on, Kathy.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. Y'all have a good evening.
You guys too.
interesting list. Keep up. I mean, I'll tell you what, as I try to battle with this fucking microphone, you could definitely go down that hole of coming up with all different interesting films, regardless of what genre they are.
Well, I like to put the B in bizarre sometimes, so that's kind of where I was going. I didn't want to do the obvious ones, So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Kat.
Oh. Well, Jake,
Yep.
thank you, Jake, for having us on your. I hope you had fun with this, Jake. I hope it was,
Yeah. Thanks again, all you guys.
Yeah,
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, I think you could just upload this without worrying about doing any. Yeah, I don't think there was any dead airs or anything like that. So,
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if you try to get rid of that shit or not, but boom, hell yeah, fuck editing if you don't have to. So, that being said, I'm just gonna be lazy and upload a couple from what we've done already, and voila, that'll help me out for the next couple weeks. I think I'm gonna come up with some different thumbnails though for them. I don't know, just to keep it intriguing. So, well, guys.